Seahawks will open up the NFL season on Wednesday. We have the Rams and 49ers playing on Thursday/Friday morning for Australia in what was very confusing. We'll discuss all that, and we'll talk about some MLB futures and some college basketball futures as well after we get through the NFL stuff. So before we begin, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit walterfootball.com, and visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something for the merch store. It is our March is Greed Month t-shirt. We only have 6 more days in March, so make sure you get this wonderful t-shirt at the merch store. You can get that as well as everything else. 15% off sale right now. You can get different colors on these t-shirts. You can get long sleeve, hoodie, women's tank top, infant onesie. We have so many other things. We have mugs. We have our famous apron. We have playing cards, mouse pad, more mugs. We have baby bib, blankets, so much more here. It's all it's all 15% off. So you can go to Amazon as well. Buy my books. The most recent one is Jerks of the College Years, where I made fun of these wonderful people you could see on the book cover. And my first book was A Safety and a Field Goal, which is a top 5 topic book about the NFL. And also, please consider super chats and super stickers. That's really the best way to support the show. I say this all the time. Still Q1. We are below the poverty line if you guys don't help us out. So it's really appreciated. Kevin Kovac gave us $20 worth in super chats last week. So really appreciate it. Andy, we're joined by Andy Iskoe from thelogicalapproach.com. Andy, how are you?
I am fine. Looking forward to I looked forward to the start of baseball, which was a few hours ago. The Yankees are leading the league, leading the baseball with the best record of 1-0, and the Giants still looking to find home plate other than when the batter is standing there. As the Yankees won on a 7-0 shutout, and baseball season is underway. Not quite a complete schedule tomorrow, but most of the teams will be in action. And baseball, of course, in its infinite wisdom, somehow can screw anything up. Unlike the NFL, baseball says, you know what, we're going to have an interleague series to start the season and kick off the season. So let's take one team from each league, and we're going to match them for the weekend series and the opening game of the season. Well, let's see. The NFL, they open with the defending champion Seattle Seahawks this coming fall, and we don't know the opponent yet. Hey, I got it. We don't want to be copycats. We're not going to open with the Los Angeles Dodgers against Toronto and would be an outstanding matchup of the World Series. We'll throw the Yankees and the Giants in there. I mean, look, it's not a terrible choice, but why not capitalize and get everybody excited by having the two teams that played a great 7-game series last year open the season, since it's going to be the marquee standalone game on, in this case, Wednesday night.
I didn't get it either. I saw Yankees Giants, and that's kind of weird. Why do they have that? Even like Yankees Dodgers, they at least have the Dodgers in there. You don't have to necessarily have the Blue Jays.
You could have Dodgers and Yankees.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Dodgers and Phillies.
Yeah, instead we got 7-0 shutout.
Yeah.
Luckily,
I'm not saying it because I was harping about this for the last week or so when baseball was over. I said, why didn't baseball, why didn't they? And they could so easily have some fun with it and say Game 8 of the World Series.
Yeah, that would have been a nice promo for sure.
Considering how the Game 7 ended, it's
that would be a great promo. They should have you run the MLB. Game 8 would be an awesome promo for the opener.
Yeah.
But no, they had to have a 7-0 shutout. We did have Ben Rice.
Well, I don't mind about the 7-0 shutout because you don't know what kind of game you're going to do. I'm just talking about, to attract people to the TV sets or the bars or whatever, get something where you can have a little fun with it. And, the NFL does it nice. I don't know if Seattle plays New England in the regular season this year, because of the way that the NFL does their scheduling. But I would not be surprised if indeed they do play, and you probably have the schedule in front of you, because we know who everybody's playing. We just don't know when they're playing. But I would not have been surprised if you had. Although last year you had Dallas and Philadelphia, but that's a nice rivalry in the NFL to open the season. But the NFL, we criticize the NFL for many things, but we also give them credit for the things that they do that make a lot of sense and are fan friendly.
We will be criticizing them tonight, I promise. But they like you said, Seattle will open the season.
At least you don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. to watch a game to open the season.
Not yet. I mean, we'll have plenty of that as the season progresses. But Seattle opens up Wednesday night. I before we try to guess the opponent, how do you feel about a Wednesday night football game? To me, selfishly, I really don't like this because I need more time to prepare for the regular season, and usually Wednesday night's a busy night for me, getting in all my fantasy stuff and everything. So
well, you are not the fan that the NFL is trying to attract. 95% of or 90% of the fans, even the ones who gamble say, "Oh, good, a nice night, a nice night to start the season, get one win under my belt, or start playing from behind or whatever." But because the NFL has such great interest, and I think they said this is only the 5th game on a Wednesday since 1950, and 2 years ago, I think, on Christmas Day.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to see this. You're right. I mean, look, we're going to have more opportunities to bet ladders at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, for example, from a contest perspective, which we are both involved in, you'd like to have a little bit of extra time, but most people aren't going to play the Thursday and the Friday game, which is now actually the Wednesday game.
Yeah,
because the NFL can't compete with high school football because it starts during that window that does not prevent or does not permit Friday night broadcasts. But for that's it. And if you've got fantasy and things like that, I mean, look, it takes away for whoever does it, one less day to have your fantasy football draft for those who like to play it as close to the start of the season as possible. But I don't really have any terrible problem with it. And in fact, I probably like it to the extent that it opens up Friday night to watch college football.
Yeah, it's true. And
at least that Friday night.
Yeah, selfishly, more time to prepare for the week 1 super contest / Circa Million. So I mean,
wait a minute. You're gonna have 4.5 months to prepare for it, beginning when the schedule comes out.
Well, the injury
because the schedule will come out. Let's say May 15th at 5 p.m. By 5:30, line ones will be out.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well,
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, all the injuries and stuff on Friday. I mean, there's a lot to sift through. Not as much in week 1, but still. And you got to love that the 1961 Broadcasting Act is preventing this from happening when the Super Bowl wasn't even invented when the 1961 Broadcasting Act came into play. So you think they'd maybe update this?
Well, not only that, you didn't have that many pro teams, and you had I think it was not meant to go against college. It was meant to go against high school, where I think that's long been a tradition to play high school football on Friday nights. I think that probably goes back into the 1930s. Well, it had to be after they invented lights.
Yeah, the exception being the Philadelphia Public School District, which has Saturday morning games because too many people will be shot or stabbed in inner city games
on Friday night after dark.
Yeah, you can't have that. Our all games were Saturday morning, which no one went to, or it's like Friday at 3, like right out. Just make sure it wasn't dark yet. So I have Seattle.
Well, it's still daylight savings time in September anyway. So.
Yeah, September. But once you get to October, November, it gets a little dicey. So I have Seattle schedule up. We can try to guess who the Wednesday team is going to be.
What not? Okay, other than the. Can't be, what was it? The Rams and 49ers are in Australia?
Yeah, Rams and 49ers in Australia. So we can
take them. That's a stupid decision by the NFL because it's unfair to either the Rams or the 49ers who's giving that up as a home game against a division rival.
Yeah. I don't know if we have the answer to that. I wonder which team is surrendering that home game.
I don't know. Well, we'll find out. I think when it's probably already been in the news somewhere when they announced the game. They probably indicated that it's going to be a home game for which one of the two teams.
It says this. I don't know how credible the site says, but this says the Rams have given up the home game.
Okay. Now, by the way, I am guessing because this would only make sense. So only the NFL could screw it up, and I will be wrong on this. I have to believe that this is the year, if indeed that's the case, that the NFC has the 9 home games.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember from last year. It was the AFC. It was that 17th game.
Well, we can count here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, Seahawks have 9 home games. So
Okay,
yeah, that makes sense. So, but they're still giving
Thank
up
you,
a home
Roger.
game in that in the rivalry.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I think that's terribly unfair. I've never liked it. I mean, they've had a handful of them that have been over in Europe. Well,
Yeah.
I think the Buffalo and the Jets played, or Buffalo or Miami and the Jets, whatever, one year.
Just
And
Dolphins. Yeah.
and as bad as the Jets are, it's still a divisional game. And I don't know who gave up the home game, but and by the way, I don't care how much money the team gets for giving up a home game. It's the fans of that team that get screwed.
Yeah, I mean that's basically it. I mean you should really not want to screw your fans.
No,
like you don't want to lose your.
I mean,
your
well,
customer
you're gonna screw the fans one way or another, whether it's the AFC team or the NFC team or whatever non-division game. You certainly don't want to screw the fans out of a divisional home game.
Right.
There are only 3 of those.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So we could try to guess who that's going to be. So there are so Seattle's 9 home games, but there are only 7 possibilities because the Rams and 49ers play the next day, and that would be impossible for them to play at Seattle to open the year. So we have Arizona, which to me seems very unlikely, and then we have Dallas, the New York Giants, the Kansas City Chiefs, the LA Chargers, the New England Patriots, and the Chicago Bears.
It should be the New England Patriots.
Yeah. What's that?
Although, then again, you're screwing the Seattle home fans out of a Super Bowl rematch so that they could say, hey, let's prove that the Super Bowl was not a fluke. It wasn't, of course, but nonetheless, a game like that, if it's the defending Super Bowl champions and you have a chance and you know that they have to play at Seattle at some point during the season, that should be a home game for the Seattle fans.
Well,
I would not, even though you could say, yes, Super Bowl rematch, Game 8 World Series, say that I was just talking about, that I think in this circumstance, because it would match the 2 Super Bowl teams, I would think that you would not want to take that game away from the Seattle home fans. They've already seen the Seahawks and Patriots play at a neutral site.
Well, no. This game is in Seattle. It's the Wednesday game. It's not.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of an overseas game. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it would still be in Seattle. So
yeah.
In
that case, that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they.
I don't know that they'll do it, but because there are a lot of attractive teams you mentioned.
Yeah. You could name it the 5th quarter of Super Bowl 61, something like that. Yeah. So
the overtime the 4th quarter overtime we never had.
Right. Yeah, part 2. You could have Chicago. I mean,
or they could say it's the deciding game after the Seattle and New England is in Super Bowls is 1-1.
Yeah. You could have that. Chicago makes a lot of sense. The Bears made big strides last year, and they almost made it to the NFC Championship. The Chargers, they're not like a sexy team, but I think that would be a fine choice. I'd like to see that game.
By the way, I would hope that the NFL at least would allow Seattle to choose its opponent.
That would be cool. I would like to see that.
No. You know what? I'm thinking again. I'm thinking about neutral sites here because I would think that they would want to have Chicago at home rather than on the road. But obviously, that would be a possible contender to have Chicago, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go with Chicago. That would be a very attractive matchup.
Yeah, it would. Like I said, the Chargers. The Chiefs are there. I don't think it'll be the Chiefs because there's a chance Mahomes doesn't play week 1. So I don't think it'll be that. The Giants.
Giants or Dallas might be attractive.
Yeah, Giants with Harbaugh there. People are talking
Jackson
them up.
Dart
I can see that. Yeah. And Dallas was in the opener last year, so maybe they don't choose them again. But they could always take Dallas.
Well, I'll tell you what. The first thing I would look at if I were going to consider them, what were the ratings of that Thursday night game? That's the one where they had the lightning delay or whatever in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was
a good game. Yeah. It was a good game.
It was until the delay, and then no one scored after.
Right.
I guess everyone was just exhausted or something. But
so who are the other teams? I think we left out a few at the end.
Just the 3 divisional games. Rams, Niners are both out, and then the Cardinals highly doubtful they'll put Arizona.
And who are the ones after that? The Rams, not the Rams, the Giants, the Cowboys, the Patriots,
Bears, Chiefs, and Chargers.
Bears, Chiefs, and Chargers. Yeah. Well, Bears and Chargers are playoff teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Chargers don't have a big fan base, so that's why I don't know if they'd put the
Yeah.
Chargers there. But that'd be a great game though. I would love to see it. I mean, we'll see it anyway at some point, but
Yeah, but yeah, yeah, I could certainly, look, Chicago's a major market.
yeah,
They played the Eagles
yeah.
On the Friday after Thanksgiving last year.
Yeah, I think it'll be either the Patriots or the Bears. Those are my two favorites. And if I had to choose a third, I think the Cowboys and then the Giants. That's how I'd rank them.
Yeah, and here's their promo. Okay, what was it? Super Bowl 60.5.
61.5.
No, 61.5.
Yeah. That'd be fun. We have a couple comments here. DraftKings posted 6th overall, and how many exposition to be taken in the first round? Anything like? I didn't even know they posted it, so that's news to me. I haven't seen it. Maybe we can look at it later. But we can't look at it.
What do you
now.
mean? What do you mean he posted 6th pick overall? Who's going to be the number 6?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the number 6th pick? Is that what that is?
Yeah, for the NFL draft, yeah, and then how many positions of each round of each how many players of each?
How many
position?
running backs? How many tight ends? How many quarterbacks, etc.
Yeah, in the first round, yeah. So DraftKings posted them. I cannot access it without logging off and putting on my VPN. So the way I showed it last time, because Charlie Campbell was on the show on Thursday, I turned on my VPN. I said I was in New Jersey, and then I loaded up Firefox because I'm using Chrome here. I can't do that. So I opened up Firefox, and I was able to see the New Jersey odds for the draft. And then I turned off my VPN, but I kept that page up. And then I loaded up StreamYard to do the show. That's the only way I can do it, because even if I click the link, if someone gives you the link to it, it won't show. Like, it just won't. It's not even grayed out or crossed
Why? Because
out.
you're not in New Jersey or something, or
yeah, because I'm a PA. You can't bet the draft in Pennsylvania for some reason.
But you can access it on a VPN.
Yeah, if I say I'm in New Jersey, the problem is I can't bet it because DraftKings has
I know,
great software for that. So if I want to bet it, I have to drive to New Jersey, which is not. It's like 25 minutes. It's not too bad. I usually
do they have sports betting in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
But they're just not online.
No, they have everything's online in PA, but you can't bet for some reason. You can't bet the draft.
Oh, okay. You do have DraftKings, but you can't. Now, is that you can't bet the draft? Is that Pennsylvania law?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. It's
probably so because it's some of these gaming commissions, you can only bet on things that are decided by the field of play.
I guess, yeah.
That's what kept Vegas out of MVP Super Bowl MVP voting for many years, betting on the Oscars and things like that.
Yeah.
Because it's something that could be, I won't say manipulated, but there could be leaked information.
Oh yeah, well, there's definitely leaked information with the draft. Yeah. So, I can do it on Call Sheet. That's the one place I can do it.
There you go.
Because they don't have any restrictions, but
what's the quarterback prop going to be? 2?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Mendoza, Simmons.
I haven't seen it, but
maybe 2.5. Over under 2.5.
2.5.
So I don't know. I don't know yet if there's a third quarterback that's up in the. I don't have my draft book with me, but.
Well, I don't know if Simpson's necessarily going to go in the first round.
Somebody. Well, he's the second highest ranked quarterback, I believe. Is that what Charlie has him as?
Yeah, but there's a big difference. Like I think.
Yeah, but it's still a quarterback, and if there's scarcity, he probably goes ahead of where he should. Because there are a lot of teams looking for quarterbacks, and it's a gamble. Do I want to wait till the second round, or do I want to take them now? Because a quarterback is going to be more, almost for most teams, quarterback's going to be more valuable than any other position.
Yeah, the only caveat is that the teams in the 20s don't need quarterbacks except for the Steelers, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Steelers are not going to take him. So what needs to happen is that a team like the Jets or the Cardinals needs to move up from the mid to late 30s
Yeah.
into the first round to take him, and we saw that last year with Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
So it could happen, but then again, Simpson's not that great of a prospect. He hasn't started that many games.
Alabama does not have a great history of great quarterbacks until you go back to Joe Namath was a very good quarterback. Kenny Stabler.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And there may have been a few over after that too. Tua did not. The book is still out on him, really.
Yeah, it's looking pretty torn up.
I think. Is there a prop? Who will be the starting quarterback in Game 1 for Atlanta this year?
I haven't seen it. We could type it in, see what happens. Type in Falcons. Not really. Kirk Cousins' next team. I'm not really seeing anything. Maybe
he still hasn't gone anywhere, has he, Cousins?
No, I think he's waiting on Aaron Rodgers, because if Rodgers does not go to the Steelers, I think he'll go to the Steelers.
Oh, could be.
I'm not seeing anything on Atlanta. I think it's a little too early for that. Maybe we'll get it later.
Oh, they say it's 1.5 for the quarterbacks, I guess. That's what it's saying.
Yeah.
That's saying here.
Yeah. So I guess Carson Beck is number 3. And I heard the Steelers like him. I think Todd McShay reported that.
Isn't he like 30 years old?
Yeah, he's been
there forever with Georgia, Miami.
Yeah, he's been in college forever. So he's not a first round pick. He's maybe second or third round. So, and there's Nussmeier.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind there are 32 NFL teams, and not all of them have brainiacs for general managers.
Yeah, all it takes is one dumb team to make a dumb decision, and we saw that with the Steelers taking Kenny Pickett in 2022.
Yeah,
where the owner said, I'm never passing on a Pitt quarterback ever again because he passed on Dan Marino. And so that was his reasoning behind taking Kenny Pickett, and it ended up being a nightmare.
I don't recall that Pickett had statistics that were that close to Marino's.
No, no, he did not. I don't know.
What a name for a quarterback to have, Pickett, though. Really?
Yeah, Johnny Touchdown would have been a better pick.
There you go.
Kenny Pickett. Yeah. 1.5. I think
he's a serviceable backup quarterback who could start 3 to 4 games if you needed to.
Yeah, and they won't be that good of starts. So he's been a big disappointment. And he's
never really had much of a chance. He's always been a backup, hasn't he?
Pickett. I mean, he started for the Steelers. He started for the Steelers for a little bit.
How many games? Did he start most of the season?
I believe so. I can look it up right now. Let's see. Kenny Pickett. I mean, in 2022, he definitely started some games. Let's see. It's not. Okay, here we go. I have it right here. So Kenny Pickett, in 2022, he started 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He started 12 games in 2022.
What was his INT/TD? Just as a general measure.
Let's just put up here career stats. So he had 7 touchdowns, 9 interceptions in 2022. In 2023, he started 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He started 12 games in 2023, and he went 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and then that was pretty much it. And they gave up on him.
So he's a serviceable quarterback, but it's for the opposition.
Right. Definitely helps the other team. So even touchdowns, 16 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. So he's dead even there. I know he had a really bad performance for the Raiders, but then again, that there was really tough conditions with that offensive line. So not much hope there. Although I'm sure his career highlight is winning Evan money in the Super Bowl, because Evan had over 2.5 players passing with a pass attempt, and Pickett came in and threw a pass attempt at the end of the Eagles-Chiefs game. So that was his career highlight, I think. So it says over is -260. It's not great. Like I do think we'll see two. I think Simpson. I think Arizona will trade off for Simpson of the two teams I mentioned, the Cardinals and Jets. But like that's not a given. Maybe
No.
they know they can wait till round two, despite what Dan Orlovsky is saying. I don't know if
Well,
you
where does Arizona pick?
They're number 35.
Yeah, so they could probably wait for round two.
Yeah, maybe, but they have to worry about the Jets as well. The Jets pick, let's see, they pick 33, so they could grab him at number 33, and then you have Arizona. Arizona's 34, not 35. So they would only have to leap them by one. They could trade up to 32 at the end of the night, not have to worry about it. They get their quarterback if they like him enough.
Now who's they? They've got Geno, right? This year, the Jets.
Yeah, they have Geno. Yeah.
Who do you got coming out next year? You got Moore, you got Arch Manning, and there'll probably be a few other. What's that?
Yeah, presumably
a few other
good.
There'll probably be. I don't know. I don't know if you and Charlie talked about it, but what is his early prognosis, if he has one, on the 2027 quarterback draft class?
Well, the trope is that each draft class in the future is the best one because that's what everyone says.
Well, it's not this year though.
I know, but well, at this time last year, people thought, oh, Arch Manning might come out, Dante Moore might come out, and they didn't. So this draft class kind of fell apart quarterback wise. But next year,
they normally know. At least at this time, we don't know how it'll turn out on the field of play, but they normally know, oh, there are 5 or 6 really good first-round potential quarterbacks that either will come out or graduate or could come out after next season. So I don't know if Charlie's looked that far ahead.
Well, in my 2027 NFL mock draft, I have 6 quarterbacks in the first round right now.
There you go. So what I'm saying is that maybe the Jets and the Cardinals. Who's now for the Cardinals? Who's the starter for the Cardinals this year? Brissett?
It's either Brissett or they signed Gardner Minshew.
Okay, so maybe because if they're not all that thrilled, with who's available, after Mendoza goes, why you know what, if you think you're going to be bad next year. Because you're not going to have a great quarterback this year, whether it be the Jets with Geno, who just stopgap answer, or the Cardinals, who are they're both looking. If you think it's going to be that good of a class next year, why don't you work on getting some offensive linemen for the quarterback to be who you will probably pick in the next year's draft, because you're probably going to be picking 1 through 8 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. I don't think you need to kind of force the issue of quarterback this year. I think that would be a mistake. But then again, it's not like the old times when rookies would get a lot of or get this huge contract, and it would be so difficult to do that. We saw the Cardinals take Josh Rosen, number 10, in 2018, and then the next year they traded him for a second, and then they took Kyler Murray. So they can do that, and it depends how they feel about Ty Simpson. Obviously, like if they think that he's has a really good chance to be a good quarterback, then take him. But if they're kind of like, this guy's all right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that don't just settle because he's available.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So
don't be in a Raiders position like they were this past year, where they had an experienced quarterback, but Dan Marino could have been playing for him. Pat Mahomes could have been playing for the Raiders. It would not have changed the Raiders' results.
No, it was very ugly. So it was just you can't win under those conditions. Arizona is a team that really needs to improve its offensive line. The Jets actually have a good line.
Jets are decent. Yeah,
they actually have a good line. It's like the one good thing the Jets have is and plus Breece Hall and Garrett Olsen. They actually have like cornerstones of an offense. But everything else is a disaster. But they have a foundation in place, sort of. So I think it makes more sense for the
What's
Jets.
their tight end situation?
Mason Taylor, he's pretty good last year. So,
because I don't think tight ends, even though they have a day for themselves or a week for themselves, whatever they call it during the middle of the season,
the National Tight End Day.
Yeah, I still don't think they don't get the kind of accolades, that position that is so important in both blocking and catching.
Yeah, they're like knights on a chessboard, sort of. Like they can like do anything, So versatile. So
Yeah.
I
They're not.
I
They
agree
don't
with
have
that.
great speed, but they don't need great speed.
Right. Yeah. And they can be deceptively fast too. Like they can
Yeah.
look slow. Like I think Jason Witten was like he looked slow, but he was actually
Yeah.
like moving pretty
Very
quickly. So
fast. Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah. Like I think it makes more sense for the Jets to take a quarterback than Arizona. Arizona has no right tackle right now. Like that's a
Yeah.
big problem. And the Jets, I think they had plans to take Dante Moore. But then Dante Moore said he was going back to school, so I think that screwed up what the Jets are going to do because they at number 2 pick, the Moore would be locked in right now if he were.
Now who's now quarterbacking in Miami? It's Malik Willis, right?
Yeah, Malik Willis with no one to throw to at
So
all.
if you have to think the structure of the AFC East, you'd have to say that Buffalo is a team in decline. What's
Maybe. Yeah. No,
what's
I mean,
Allen's there now? His 8th year, something like that.
yeah, but at the same point, like they have a new coach. They brought in DJ Moore.
Yeah,
to
but I
strengthen the
think
receiver
they're.
core and Bradley Chubb.
I still think that their best days are behind them. They're still a playoff caliber team, but what I'm saying is I think that the Jets can make a case that they can perhaps. Well, they should be able to surpass Miami in that division. Miami's really starting over.
Yeah.
New England, you would think that they're poised to be a contender with or without Buffalo over the next few years. That they, I want to see how Buffalo bounces back this year.
I don't think they're in decline necessarily. I like the moves they made to get Moore and to get Bradley Chubb. I think that'll help them this year.
The defense has to stay healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, and having a new coach, I think, could be at least in the short term a benefit for them. So I'm
who's the offensive coordinator there?
Well, I assume Joe Brady's gonna.
She's still there.
Well, Joe Brady's the head coach, so I assume that he's going to run the offense. Pete Carmichael's the official coordinator, but I assume Joe Brady's going to call the offense. But, I think they're still in my exacta pool, the 3-by-3 that we do or 4-by-3.
Yeah.
So I still like the Bills. I've bet them in some exactas with the Rams already, I don't know if I've done them with anyone else yet, but I haven't collected on all my bonus bets yet. Which it was funny that like we were talking about how DraftKings was going to stop giving me bonus bets because all I did was just bet all exactas and then withdraw the money after betting a few times. They sent me two offers. Like $250 in bonus bets with $1,000 deposits. So it's like all of it just went to the exact.
$250 bonus for what? $1,000 deposit?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said they were going to send you bonus with some restrictions on how it can be used.
No, they haven't. And so what I do is I deposit the $1,000.
Because most people, I imagine, just bet it on a game.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
a parlay or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I deposit
as opposed to a future.
Yeah. I deposit the $1,000, bet the 250 bonus bets on exactas, 50 each, and then I bet golf or whatever, and then I withdraw it. Withdraw the $1,000 like in a few days.
So what's the restriction on the withdrawal as far as it affects the bonuses? So doesn't the deposit have to be there for a certain length of time?
You just have to bet it once, but like I run through so many bets each week.
So in other words, if you put in if you have a balance of 2,000 right now.
Yeah.
And you put another 1,000, so you got 3,000, and you get the 250 in bonus. You get to keep the 250 in bonus after you've bet the first $1,000.
Yes. So no matter what.
In other words, it doesn't have to be a specific 1,000. It doesn't have to be the $1,000 in excess of your balance or something.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
so what you're doing makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sweet deal. I haven't wagered a single dime on these exactas, and I have a good number of them so far. So hopefully one of them hits. None of them hit last year.
So what is it? You can't play the bonus until you go through the 1,000. Is that what it is?
No, you can play the bonus whenever you want. It's when you click a game or a future, it'll
Right.
say it'll
Bonus
have
for
like an
cash.
option. Yeah, it'll have an option. It'll say like use the bonus.
Yeah.
So and they divvy it up into 50 each, so they give you it's five $50 bonuses. So
Oh, okay. It's not allocated however you want it to be.
yeah, right. So it's you couldn't
I mean,
really bet
unless
75,
in
you
other
know.
words, you could do it 2 bonuses, but that would be $100. You can't bet
Uh,
like 75 out of the bonus. It's got to
Right.
be 50 or
Yeah,
zero.
it's kind of annoying. Like FanDuel, you
No.
can if FanDuel to give you a bonus bets, you can actually choose which number you want. But DraftKings they do it in 50 increments. So yeah,
We can't do either of those companies here in Nevada.
I know, it's so ridiculous.
We have we have such a huge casino lobby. Sports.
I know, but like, if you think about it, many states have casinos now.
Yeah.
And I know,
Yeah, but
that,
not to the extent that in Nevada economy, and they have a lot of power.
oh yeah,
I mean, there are some casinos that have blocked other local casinos from erecting hotels in a certain territory.
Really?
It eat into their customer base. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I guess they're in charge, huh?
Yeah.
It's remarkable that like Las Vegas has become like one of the worst places to bet, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, compared to what's out there.
Yeah,
I mean, as far as the our numbers are pretty decent. The numbers here in Vegas are probably better because they're using 25-30 cent lines out in a lot of these offshore internet companies,
sure,
as opposed to where Westgate I think now is down to like minus 109 each way, 18-cent line, and they have their minus 105 promotions and things like that. So they give you a better because Vegas still needs the high rollers who are sharp to get in there, whereas these places like FanDuel and DraftKings, they think everybody who bets with them is an idiot.
Yeah, well, they'll ban you if you start winning right away.
Yeah, well, that's essentially what I mean. They weed out the idiots. And I've always said, hey, I want to know if I'm running a sports book, I want to know who the sharps are going so I can move my line.
Yeah.
Why would I ban them? I'm not going to win 100% of the bets. I'm not going to win 90 or 80% of the bets. But if I'm gonna lose 40% of the bets or 30% of the bets, I want to lose to the sharp guys so I can make that up with the guys who are coming and going to bet every game at bad numbers.
Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense. So, luckily, now they have Kalshi and everything. They'll never ban you for anything on Kalshi because it's not a real sports book. You're betting against other people, not the house. So,
what's the other one that's out there?
Polymarket, but that's
Polymarket. That's the one that they're
US.
looking at for the insider trading on the Israeli U.S. attack on
the
Iranian thing there.
Yeah, because yes, people knew that.
Now, what is it? You can be what do you call it? You can you're anonymous on the Polymarket, right?
What do you mean anonymous?
In other words, they can't. I don't know how they can't identify. I heard that on a report today. I'm not that familiar with it, but they said whoever did it bet anonymously.
Yeah, so you can hide your bets, or you could just keep it public. There are certain people on Kalshi that I follow because this one guy has made apparently $440,000 in the span of 6 months. So
now this is what stock market or something else?
No, just sports betting.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm following, like I could see all the bets he makes, and they're just out there. So so it's pretty remarkable. But yeah, you can have your bets hidden as well. So
I think that's maybe what they were talking about.
Yeah. So
whoever bet that Iranian strike,
right? I wish there's got to be a way to see like crazy line moves like that and just follow the money. And you're obviously never going to get the best price, but if someone's betting that aggressively, they must know something, right? So
you would think so, because I mean, it's so easy to get away with that stuff now. The anonymity.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency is another thing that makes it easier.
Yeah, that's true. And with Polymarket, it's not even U.S. So this person could be who knows where, Senegal. Like, who knows? They could be untouchable. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to stop it, but
It's probably somebody's basement next to the Fulton Fish Market in New York City.
yeah, right.
The guy goes around in tattered clothes and everything, and the guy's worth $3 billion.
That's exactly what happens. Um,
And a lot of folks do that. They don't want to be bothered, so they look like someone that most people wouldn't want to approach.
yeah, I've done that. Going like downtown.
Well, you're a superstar. You can't help but be noticed.
Well, going downtown Philly, which is not a great place. If I ever need to go downtown, I usually I wear a plain white shirt and like
no Walter football identification.
No ripped jeans, nothing.
No.
No, I don't even bring a wallet. I don't bring anything. I have a backpack I wear, which contains nothing in it except for a bottle of water. And so if someone steals my backpack, they steal a bottle of water. It's like, congratulations. Yeah. So it pays. So no one ever bothers me though. It pays to just look like a homeless person. And because I've worked downtown before I ran my
You're talking
website
Center
full-time.
City.
Yeah. Like in 2007, I worked at a mortgage company down there, and I had to dress nicely, and like I'd be like accosted by like so many people down there. It was ridiculous.
Hey, buddy, kid, you got something for me?
Yeah, and they'd follow you. If like you ignore them or say no, like they would just follow you. They wouldn't stop like hounding you. And like who knows who these people are? Like some of them might be okay, but some of them might be crazy. So
no sense taking a chance.
Yeah. So
no sense slowing down where you want to go. You want to get there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We had a question from Timmy. Do you think Arizona might trade back to a team that wants to take Jeremiah Love at 3, or if they trade back, do you think it'll be to a team that loves David Bailey, or what are your thoughts on that? I think Arizona is a great possibility to trade down. We saw them move down from 3 a few years ago when the Texans moved up for Will Anderson. The Cardinals actually moved down from 3 to 12 and then moved that back up to 6 for Paris Johnson. So they could definitely do that again. And I think it makes sense for them to move down. Like they want to tackle, and it sounds like they like Spencer Fano or Francis Mauanoa, so they could move down to 6. And
have they got Rookie of the Year odds out yet for NFL?
I haven't seen it. No, I don't know. We can.
You'd have to think Love is going to be the favorite.
I would think so. Ashton Genty was the overwhelming favorite last year.
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year. I doubt it because we don't know where they're going to play yet.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, that's from last year. We do have Offensive Player of the Year and MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, but we don't have Offensive Player of the Year.
You mean Rookie of the Year?
We don't have Offensive Rookie or Defensive Rookie of the Year. We do have NBA Rookie of the Year. Concanoople is the favorite, but
what Rookie of the Year?
NBA.
Oh, NBA. Yeah, well, that season's almost over. Yeah.
Yeah. Concanoople the favorite, then Cooper Flag, which is interesting. My dad would be angered right now if there's no VJ Edgecombe, who's been great for the Sixers.
Yeah, Duke.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that was we discussed the Wednesday game. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the Rams-Niners? We touched on it, like how it's you said it's silly that they're playing a divisional game.
Well, it's not silly. It's unfair. Not silly. Right. It's unfair. It's unfair to whichever team is giving up a home game. It's bad enough to give up a home game to go play across the sea or down in Mexico. Okay, because now you only play 17 NFL games. Every game is important, and if you've got an opportunity. Now obviously everybody in the NFC is going to play a 9th home game, but you're at a disadvantage because you're playing 9 road games or 8 road games and a neutral site game. So when it comes down to wild cards, you are already at a disadvantage. Now when you make it a division home game, you're giving up. That's even worse.
Yeah,
because you're playing 3 road games, 1 neutral game, and 2 home games.
Yeah,
that's a significant portion. That's 16%. Of your division schedule, 1 out of 6.
It's ridiculous. I think.
So,
and the timing of this is weird too because there's a 17-hour time difference. This
you're about the Rams-49ers? Yes, it's like 8:30 a.m. local time in Australia on Friday.
Yeah. So according to Schefter, who lists different time zones here, he says this game's a 5:35 Pacific time,
Yeah,
which is 8:35
8:35
Eastern. So
Eastern.
normal starting time here, in America. But and it says the game will be 10:30 a.m. 10:35 a.m. AEST. So what? It's so
I think
weird
that's
that
Australian Eastern time or something like that.
Australian Eastern time. Yeah,
I thought it
no
was 8
Melbourne.
something, but it could be 10:35. Okay. Whatever, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter because I'm going to be watching it from the US of A.
right. If they're trying to popularize this in
Why
Australia,
play it in the morning in Australia on a
right,
weekday?
on a weekday, I assume they're gonna have school. Let's say the kids
Unless
are gonna be
it's a holiday there, who knows? Maybe it's Kangaroo Day. I don't know.
Kangaroo Day. We have,
No, I mean, no. You bring up a very good point. Don't you want to have as large an audience as possible? After work is over.
yeah, you would think so, and that was
I
the
mean,
danger.
now if they did it on a Sunday, it'd be a Saturday night game here. There would be a Sunday morning game in Australia. Well, that's no big deal. That's a Sunday.
Yeah,
But
you're right. Right. I mean,
yeah, it doesn't.
if the kids are going to be in school, they're not going to be watching this game. You would think, unless it's a holiday, like you said. Yeah,
I'm gonna do that right now.
Do what?
I'm gonna Google.
Okay.
Okay, Google. I understand that the NFL is playing a game to open the season. The second game of the season.
How can I?
Give me a chance. I haven't asked a question yet. Don't be so fast. Okay, Google. The NFL is playing a game in Australia that begins Friday morning, Australian time, the Friday right after the Thursday night game that usually opens the NFL season. Is there a national holiday on that Friday in Australia for the game to be starting at either 8:30 or 10:30 local time in Australia? Let's see what he says.
No, there is no national holiday in Australia on Friday, September 11th, 2026. The 10:35 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time kickoff in Melbourne was chosen primarily to cater to the American Thursday Night Football primetime audience, where the game will air on Thursday, September 10th at 8:35 p.m. Eastern Time / 5:35 p.m. Pacific Time. While not a holiday, the event is expected to draw a massive crowd at the MCG due to its status as the first ever regular season NFL game in Australia. Would you like me to check?
Oh, good. So everybody will be drunk before lunchtime.
Yeah, but again, like the kids will be in school and they won't be watching this game unless the teachers turn on the TV in school.
Yeah.
I'd love to have Ben Wasley on to figure this out because he's actually a teacher in Australia. So I'd love to.
Well,
hear
that would be
how
seriously. It would be good to find out the thinking as to why they acceded to the NFL's wishes to do that. Look, maybe the NFL's paying them, hundreds of millions of dollars or some ridiculous number, and they say, we'll start at 6:15 in the morning if you ask us to.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, the whole goal of this is to popularize the game in Australia,
right?
So why would you cater to America if you're going to do this? It doesn't make any
exactly.
sense.
Why wouldn't you? Because I'm sure that let's put it this way, I would think if you are not one of the, let's say, 70,000 people in Australia who are attending the game, you're probably working and not going to watch the game unless you watch it later on like a tape delay or rebroadcast.
Yeah. So what would you do if you're the NFL? And let's just say you were forced to have this game. You'd be like, oh, we're not going to be in Australia.
I would say, you know what? Screw the Friday game. We'll have it on a Sunday morning or something, or which would be a Saturday night or a Sunday night in the U.S. Make it a Sunday night. Well, no, then you have the same thing because then it's Monday morning in Australia. But you play it on a Sunday or a Monday in Australia or a holiday day in Australia.
Yeah, I think I feel like they wanted to give these teams more time to come back because it's such a long trip.
Yeah, we can still do that. That's, by the way, that's a good point because I don't think they should have a bye in week 2.
Right. So maybe you have these teams have the same bye week, and then you put the game on right before the bye. So and then you could have this as the Sunday night game.
Well, no, that's where I said that you're still going to have the issue in Australia. It'll be instead of early Friday morning, be early Monday morning down there.
Yeah. Well, actually, the Sunday night game, that would be Monday morning there, so that would be worse.
No,
So,
so I'm saying that the same thing as having it now, where it's
yeah.
Friday morning in Australia and people are going to be working.
Right.
So
Right.
Monday morning, the same thing,
Yeah, it's the same thing.
unless there is a Monday holiday that falls during football season here, that the people would not have to miss work in Australia on the Monday.
Yeah.
It would be a holiday.
Yeah.
Or another Friday during the season.
I guess it's a nightmare. It doesn't really make much sense. So I don't know. It feels like this whole thing wasn't really thought out, and Goodell's just like, I want an Australia game.
Well, it may have been thought out, but maybe their priorities are a lot different, or their thinking is different than ours. I mean, they must have some explanation and some reasons that make sense to them.
I don't know if Goodell thinks these things through. It
Well,
seems
staff,
like so random.
his staff or his
Well,
PR people.
I feel like Goodell was like, I want a game in Australia, and his staff's like, well, it doesn't make sense time wise. Like, no, get it done.
No, you're probably right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, like, how stupid is it to have a divisional game overseas?
it's hard.
How unfair is it? Which makes it stupid.
That's very unfair. It doesn't, it doesn't make any sense.
I'm surprised that the owners don't say, yeah, Roger, we'll give you as many, we'll give you, if you want to have each team play overseas once a year, that's fine. Don't make it a divisional game.
Right. Yeah.
In fact, if anything, make it an interconference game, because that's like the last, one of the last tie-breaking things. With the interleague games.
Yeah, you don't want a tiebreaker deciding this nonsense.
No. I mean, if you're going to come down to a tiebreaker, have it be a game that is low on the tiebreaker scale.
Right.
Division game is right at the top of the scale.
Yeah, you don't. Right. You don't want the tiebreaker deciding it. So, you mentioned National Kangaroo Day. I put up I put up the thumbnail that I have for the show tonight, which is a bunch of kangaroos in the outback, and we have a crocodile eating Christian McCaffrey, and we have Puka Nacua taking a bite out of that same crocodile, which kind of goes with the news that we had on Puka Nacua.
Yeah, it's not looking good for him.
You think he's gonna be suspended? Like what is happening with this? Was it like playful?
Well, he's done two bad things in one incident.
Right. I don't like what happened, do you think? Took a bite out of a woman's shoulder and he tore some skin off?
And he said make some anti-Semitic remark at the same time.
Yeah, right.
So I mean that's that's something, and that's probably the more serious of the one, because that affects the NFL's audience. That's I mean, I'm not going to equate it to I mean, look, the biting the shoulder is a bad thing as well, but given the tension and the hate that's around, that's something that that these leagues are very sensitive about right now, understandably so.
Yeah.
But he because I'll tell you what, I mean, he does a couple of commercials that are really enjoyable. Yeah. We may not be seeing them. He's going to probably, and remember, he's a young player, so he has a lot of, or he did have, maybe he still does. Who knows how it turns out? Because got to go through the judicial process. But he's a photogenic kid with a nice personality. At least what we've seen, and still very young in his career, and he's got a lot of upside potential as an athlete and as a spokesperson for the league. So I don't know what kind of damage he's done now, but it's certainly not looking very good. But someone will use AI to have him taking a bite out of McCaffrey's shoulder.
I wanted him to take a bite out of the crocodile's shoulder. He gave me his mouth, but you can only do so much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I would like to hear specifics, like what was the remark? Was it like a joke or something, or was it?
I don't know what it was. Apparently, it happened at some New Year's Eve party, and then he and the girl that's involved joined a few others going out somewhere for some other event. And she reported it, I think, on January 2nd, because I guess everything was closed on January 1st.
Okay.
And I don't remember where it happened exactly. Was it Miami or L.A.? I think it was L.A. I don't recall.
Really? New Year's?
Yeah. I think it was New Year's Eve this past year.
Okay, that's weird because they
which
would
is
be playing a few
interesting
days
because
later.
the Rams were playing on Wild Card Weekend. Well, no,
Yeah.
that was Week 18. Week 18 was January 2nd this year, I believe, wasn't it?
Was it
January 4th?
January 4th, I think.
But that was Week 18 because that was the end of the regular season.
Yeah, they played in Arizona, I believe. Well, they might have been home against Arizona. It was versus Arizona because San Francisco and Seattle played that Saturday night.
The Saturday game.
Yeah, so it was definitely the Cardinals. So I guess you could take a
Thursday was New Year's was a Thursday this year.
Yeah, so we had the Saturday game with San Francisco, Seattle.
Yeah,
and then and I guess if you're playing the Cardinals, you can afford to take a plane ride somewhere because you don't really need to. And the Rams ended up covering that game anyway, so nothing bad happened for that game. Yeah. But like I said, I don't know. Like, was it?
By the way, but you do bring up a good point because if Nakua is suspended, guess who doesn't make the trip to Australia? For this game?
He doesn't get to go. So it'll be Devontae Adams, maybe AJ Brown, maybe they trade for him. We'll see. Like I said, I would like to know what exactly happened.
And again, it depends upon how the legal system goes, and we may not even see a judicial resolution before the start of the season. So
like I said, specifics are important. Was it like serious what he said, or is it a joke? Maybe is a joke, and this woman was angry at him and she reported him. Like who knows? But the biting of the shoulder is weird.
He said that. Yeah, it was I don't know. He was trying to hit on her or something. I don't know if they ever met before or whatever. I mean, I just sort of like glossed over the first paragraph or two. But it's an interesting matchup, especially if the 49ers should start the season healthy.
Yeah, that'll be a change of pace for the Niners who've had all the injuries.
Which, by the way, well, Kittle should be fully healthy, shouldn't he?
No, he tore the ACL in January, so I would assume he's going to start.
Depends how he heals. Yeah, it depends.
Yeah,
how long it takes.
I've drafted Jake Tunges a few times in best ball so far. So, but
the other thing is the other thing is that. As far as the 49ers go, we still don't know. And, of course, Evan probably keeps up to it closely, the Trent Williams situation. Although it looks as though they're trying to reach some agreement. It's just, maybe it's one of those Williams will come to terms during that blank week between the preseason and the start of the season.
Yeah, from the last thing I read was they were it sounded like they're going to give him only one more year, and that was going to be it. But who knows? He's obviously
which, if I'm Williams, that's not a terrible thing because if he still plays to his capability and he only has a 1-year obligation, he'll get the big money next year, even though he'll be a year older. But if he plays to the level that he's capable of playing at, I don't think he really. I mean, injury. What, he missed one game last year?
He missed week 18 and that was it.
Yeah. So if he can still play at his level, maybe a 1-year contract isn't such a bad thing because of the importance of that position and the number of teams who, could use an all-pro caliber guy, even if they only get him for a year or two.
Yeah, that's true.
That's way down the road, but it's something to keep in mind.
Yeah. I mentioned this in the show before, but Evans said, when the Niners signed Mike Evans, he said we might as well be out there if Trent Williams is not, because it won't matter. Which is
I think he said it last week. Yeah,
it's very true. He's so important to that team. So, Kim McGill says the only midweek holiday I could think of in Australia is the first Tuesday in November. They have a big horse race on that day. Okay.
Well, if that indeed is the case, and that is a holiday. That it's taken off for work. If it's a big horse race on a Tuesday, that'd be Monday Night Football right there.
Yeah, Monday Night Football, and you can have the Rams and Niners have the bye next week, and that would work out really well. So,
first Tuesday of November does not conflict with Thanksgiving.
Yep. So we would.
So there would be buys given out that week.
Yeah, we should work for Goodell instead of the people.
Maybe Walt. Maybe you should have Charlie contact Goodell since he's in his good graces and throw that out there.
Yeah, well, if he's associated with me, that it doesn't work that way. Actually, it kind of reminds me of this is way back when I was a kid.
Well, if Goodell says, Charlie, are you involved with that Walter guy? Walter who?
Walter Payton, Walter Camp. No, back in when I was swimming, like youth sports swimming, there's this guy Matt. He used to always get in trouble with the swim coach. Like, he'd get kicked out of practice nonstop. But like he and I were friends, and like one day
Walter Brennan.
Yeah. Well, one day, the coach is like, Matt, get out of your practice. Walt, you too. I'm like, I didn't do anything. She's like, I don't care. Because like we're just we're like right next to each other, and so it's like guilty by association. It's kind of what it reminds me of is like Charlie just not allowed to talk to Goodell because of me. So I don't know. It's so ridiculous.
No, but that is a good point, and it would make more sense because really, I mean, if you're playing Australia and you're coming back now, I guess a little bit is taken out of that because these are two West Coast teams, so that's. It'd be different as if like the Eagles and the Giants, where you have 3 additional time zones to cross.
Right.
But even so, you're not really in game condition. You're not using to go all out because this is going to be your first game of the season. And obviously you will have not been playing at that level of intensity during the preseason. And you won't have been playing that much, as a rule during a preseason. So I would think, that, I guess the thinking is that, okay, it's, you're playing Thursday night in Australia. Doesn't matter what time it is in Australia when you get back. If you're playing Friday morning in Australia, you probably get back early Saturday morning in the U.S. And, you're still having an extra day of rest more than the teams that are playing on Sunday the very next day, and an extra 2 days of rest. So maybe, well, you can't have them both play on Monday night unless they have a Monday night doubleheader and the Rams and the 49ers are involved and they each host, a different team. That might compensate, could give them as much rest as possible since you can't have a bye. I mean, not that you can't, but it's unrealistic to have a bye in week 2.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe that's something the schedule makers would consider because look, regardless of when the 49ers and the Rams play, you're talking about double-digit win teams from last year who are expected to be Super Bowl contenders this year.
Yeah.
So, why wouldn't you want to have them on a Thursday night and then have them open on a Monday night doubleheader and give them like 8-9 days of rest?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, they used to have week 2 buys back when they had odd number teams, and every team had there have to be at least one team having a buy.
Yeah, that was before they gave Houston the franchise.
Yeah, the 3 years between
31 teams.
Yeah, the 3 years between the Browns and the Texans coming in. So that was. Can you imagine waiting all year rooting for your team, and then you see week 1 bye for your teams? Like, come on, you have to wait till week 2.
I think the only time they ever had that, I think there was a hurricane in Miami and New England had to move their game to. I think they had a common bye week that allowed that to happen. So, but yeah, it's a rare occurrence. But no, I mean, it sounds like well. And I saw that the players' union came out with some sort of statement talking about being concerned about the players' health, and he was referring to the 18th game. And I would think that we're going to see an 18th game. I don't know if it'll be until the next when does the collective bargaining go into 2031? I think. 2021. It was 10 years. But they could always modify it with the agreement of both sides if they wanted to start an 18th week, 18th game. But if they did, it's almost certain going to involve 2 bye weeks per team.
Yeah, I would think so. I think that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we can.
I mean, they had 2 bye weeks when they were playing a 16-game schedule.
Yeah, it was 94, I think.
93 or 94, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
Maybe it was 91.
It
was one of those years, early in the 90s.
Yeah, I had one of my.
That was when they only had, I think. Did they have 30? No, they still had, I think, 28 teams, because I think it was before Jacksonville and Carolina came in.
Yeah, I think I think it was the year before. Yeah, I had a very embarrassing moment on the school bus back then because I had the Philadelphia Daily newspaper and I was looking at the Eagles schedule and I was sitting next to my friend and I'm like, I like they had abbreviations for each team on the schedule and I'm like, what's this team BYE? They played them twice. Everyone's like, bye. Like, oh. So anyway, that's pretty rough. That was before I
Now,
made the
are you
website.
still friends with him?
No, not.
You're not in touch
Maybe.
anymore. That'd be the kind of thing that he'd bring up every time you got together.
Yeah. Well, we had that was my friend who uh he was I told the story before, but he was over my house and it was the day the Super Nintendo came out and
Oh.
I eschewed a birthday present because my birthday is August 6th and Super Nintendo that year came out in stores on August 23rd and I told my parents I wanted Super Nintendo so we had to wait a few weeks.
Now, how
so
old
my
were you at that time?
10 I think
Okay.
or something like that. So I my friend was over and my dad comes home from work. He's like, okay, let's go to Toys R Us. Let's go get the Super Nintendo. And my friend Will, he's like, I can't go. My mom won't let me. I'm like, oh, come on. She's not going to know. And he's like, no, she won't let me. And so Will's like, well, it's either me or it's Super Nintendo. Either because I can't go.
Okay, what you said to your friend Will, it's either Will or Super Nintendo?
No, my friend Will said, it's either me or the Super Nintendo. And I'm like,
no, yeah. In other words, you were making the choice.
He said, I had to make the choice.
You have to choose between Will or Super Nintendo, the store.
Yeah. And I was
and
like,
you chose the store.
Yeah, I was like, Dad, let's go. So we didn't really talk too much after that.
And I thought that Will was going to take it up with his mother.
Yeah.
And he'd be talking to you the next day, and he'd be on hiatus with his mom for a week.
Well, he became a Sega Genesis kid, not a Nintendo kid. I don't know. He moved away. I have no idea what he does these days.
He's probably the president of a large bank.
maybe he's got me photographed in his basement, and he's like a revenge list, and I'm at the top of it, and he's putting on lipstick and stuff. That's a Billy Madison joke, but anyway. So I don't know, or maybe he doesn't know, or maybe he's watching and I just reminded him, and that's not good news for me.
Maybe he's been giving you all those donations over the years without some
yeah,
name that you didn't recognize.
He's Kevin Kovac.
Reveal it, yeah. There you go.
That's funny. Anyway, all right. Well, I guess that's about it for the NFL. It's been kind of a slow week. Nothing has happened. We've had
we managed to drag an hour out of it.
We did, yeah.
Talking about two games.
Yeah, we had Joe Flacco signing. We had
with the Bengals, right?
Yeah, Elijah Moore, and the Falcons got Brian Robinson Jr., which is going to be.
So now they got two B. Robinsons.
Right, it's gonna be a headache for any fantasy owners to be Robinsons. Yeah. I was once in a league where someone wanted to take Brian Westbrook and they took Michael Westbrook instead. So yeah, that was felt bad for that guy. But yeah, I also wanted to talk about some futures as well. Baseball starting.
Well, it's a good thing that Josh Allen plays quarterback and defense. Can't confuse those two as far as fantasy goes. Well, at least I hope not.
Well, the defensive Josh Allen took. He changed his name to Josh Hines Allen. I don't know. If
either that or I thought maybe it was Joshua he went by now.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, he did change the name to Josh Hines Allen.
Okay, maybe that was.
I'm not sure why, but he did. I mean, I don't know if it had to do with Josh Allen, the other Josh Allen, but maybe it did, or maybe it didn't. Maybe he just wanted to honor whoever Hines is in his family. You see that from time to time.
Well, I would imagine there might be some reporters or whatever who saw that they didn't know the difference between, and they said, "Hey, give me Josh Allen's phone number." Yeah. And they gave him, the raw, or maybe it was Josh Allen of Buffalo who requested him to change.
Yeah, right.
Because he was getting too many calls, thinking it was somebody else. No, it was probably the Josh Hines Allen who may have made the decision, because he was probably getting a lot of calls from people who didn't know the difference and thought that they were calling the quarterback.
Yeah, right. like it'd be funny if he like just like threatened him or something, or like you better do this, or
Well, I
I'm
don't
gonna
know. They were
expose
threatening.
him.
They probably just wanted an interview or something. Hey, can you come
Yeah.
on this guy's? In other words, it could have been. And look, it happens. Let's say a producer of a radio show, sports
Mhm.
talk radio show, and not everybody who produces a sports talk radio show is familiar with every sport and everything. It's a
Yeah.
job. They love sports, but maybe they're not as heavily involved, especially if they're not, say, for example, betting the games, okay, or a
Mhm.
fan of those teams that might have tried to contact Josh Allen, went to someone, and said, "Hey, could you give me Josh Allen's phone number?"
Yeah.
Let's send another producer thing, and they gave him the one of Joshua Hines Allen, and
Right. Right.
that may have changed. I mean, let's put it. It's a reasonable explanation. May not be the explanation, but it certainly is a reasonable one.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if why did maybe Google knows Josh Allen changed his name.
Oh, good.
to-
Nevada cover tonight. That's good.
Oh, good.
NIT, yeah.
So he wants to honor his maternal family athletic legacy, apparently. So who knows?
Cousin of
he
Heinz
emphasi-
Ward?
uh, he emphasized the decision was deeply personal and aimed at
Heinz and Dad?
maintaining his family's traditions. So, yeah, apparently nothing to do with Josh Allen, or at least that's what he
Okay.
said. But who knows if that's true? All right, so
It's artificial intelligence. It could be anything.
that's yeah. Just
In other words, somebody could have come up with that explanation as sort of like to be humorous or something, and put it in a tweet somewhere, and AI found the tweet. We just don't know anymore these days.
I know. Yeah, AI. I feel like AI is just like Reddit. that's all it is.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, there are a lot of good uses of AI, but
Mhm.
there's also a lot of misleading information that can be. Well, I tell you all the time, that when I have a question that I want to confirm, and I ask Google, the assistant for Google, which is the sign of the zodiac. I don't want to say it, or it'll pick up the phone, but it'll answer. What can I do for you? You can shut up. But no, I want to verify a certain statistic or a certain fact, and I will ask it. It'll come back with an answer, which is not the answer that I expected, because I'm almost, I'm never 100% certain. I mean, well, often I am, but sometimes I just want to make sure, because if I'm going to go out there and put it out there, I'd like to be correct as often as possible. So I'll check it. Yeah. And so it'll come, I'll give it a fact to check. It'll come back with a different answer. And then I will reply. I said, blah, blah, blah. I said, according to the information I have, this event occurred on such and such date between such and such teams. It'll come back and say, oh, you are correct on October 3rd, whatever it was. And, it's kind of like if I'm only half certain or whatever.
Yeah.
And to get an answer like that, I'll still check it, but think about people, or think about it. For me, just talking about this personal experience. Suppose I don't know an example, and I'm pressed for time, and I don't have time to look it up, and I just make a query, and I get an answer. It turns out to be wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know that.
Yeah, it's right. It's hard to trust. You just can't.
I have a pretty good memory, and I have a lot of non-AI resources to check. Encyclopedias, record books, almanacs, whatever. So I probably could do it. NFL Fact Book, which, even though it's not available in print, well, I think it is available in print, but it's expensive because you got to print it yourself. But the NFL makes it available for free every summer. So I can go back and take a look at something that I think the most recent physical book was produced for the 2014 season. So there's been a lot of history since then. Okay. So I could probably check it out, but sometimes I don't have the time to do, the thorough thing. It's not, it's not as easy as a lot of people think of putting a newsletter together every week.
Oh yeah,
when you're doing it by yourself.
Oh, I know. It's
you.
I mean, your newsletters are great, and there are a lot of info in them, and
I got to do it all myself and check it. I keep all the stats and take care of automating all that stuff. But you want to be, and I want the worst thing for me to have is a typo.
Yeah. Right.
Or let's say a misspelt word, not necessarily a typo, because a typo could be yes instead of no.
Sure. Yeah.
YESS. That's okay.
Right.
I mean, I'd like to be perfect. I'll tell you what. There was a story in the New York Post. Now, I'm not expected to be as sharp as the New York Post is in editing. And then the same day, I found 2 headlines. They talked about something when the game for the St. John's the other day, when the second half begins. And it said when the second half beings.
Beings.
Beings is a word. So if they used spell check, it came up okay. If they used context, it didn't. And on the very same day, about 3 articles later, there was something similar where a word was not, expect versus accept.
Except,
EXCEPT, and they did expect, and it made no sense, but it was a word. So, we cannot think anymore as a society, and I'm just as guilty of that. Hopefully, not as often. But then again, I don't have several million people reading what I put out every day. But New York
and
Post
you
does.
don't have an editing staff either.
Right. Well, I do. It's me.
Right. Yeah. Right. You don't have someone else checking what you wrote.
No, and I proof it a lot. And the more you proof the same thing, the more you're apt to miss a mistake.
Yeah.
Because you're glossing over things. Oh, I've done it 4 times already, and I haven't found anything. But the point is, if I find one thing, it's worth doing.
Yeah. When I worked at a newspaper, I worked at the Westchester Daily Local a long time ago. 22 years, 23, 21 years ago. When I wrote an article, I would send it to editing, and I'd see the sports editor. He'd read through it. He'd read through it 2 times, and then once he was done, he'd send it to pagination, and pagination would read through it, and then they would put it on the page. So you had 2 sets of eyes reading everything.
Yeah.
And we don't have that. I used to have an editor, but that was not anymore. But yeah, so it's tough. I hear what you're saying. And whenever I would send an article in, when I had my own column at the Center Daily Times, that was even before then. I once woke up in a sweat, thinking I made a big mistake. I was writing about the Tennessee men's basketball team or something,
right?
And for some reason I dreamt that I wrote down the wrong coach's name. And I was like, oh my God, I screwed this up so badly. It's going to look so bad. I rushed to my computer to look, and I got it correct. I didn't get it wrong. But for some reason, I
know that feeling of panic.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. So it's not as serious on the website, but you still don't want to make mistakes. But it's if it's in print, you can't change it. So you can change stuff on the website. Anyway, let's get to baseball here. And
do baseball, then we'll do NCAA.
Unless you want to do NCAA first, whichever.
Either way is fine.
Okay. All right. So, as you guys know, baseball started tonight. The Yankees defeated the Giants 7-0, and it is officially opening day tomorrow, not opening night. So we're gonna have everyone.
Well, now
playing.
It's today for you.
It's true. Although I always tell my wife, and this drives her crazy when she refers to the next day.
It's always today. It's always today for you until you go to sleep.
Exactly. Yes. And she
whether it be 11 p.m. or 4 a.m.
Yeah. Right. Right. She goes to sleep at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and she gets up at 5 or 5:30. And so I see her when I'm going to bed, and sometimes she'll say, "Oh, today," and I'm like, "Oh, you mean tomorrow?" and she's like, "Come on, Walt, you know what I mean?" And I was like, "No, I haven't gone to bed yet." So that's how I always feel about it. But yeah, anyway, tomorrow for me, today technically, we have opening day for baseball, and why not? Why not go through some baseball futures, and maybe we get a couple of good wagers to make on teams to win the World Series or anything else. So,
did you do anything to your volume?
I did not.
Because I'm getting you at low volume here now. Let me
testing 1 2 3. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are watching, let us know here, but I haven't changed anything. I haven't hit anything or anything.
I'll see if I can. Oh, I think I got it here.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, testing 1 2 3.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
I accidentally knobbed something on my headset here. Okay, there we go.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm looking at these odds for the first time. I know the players because I play fantasy.
Are you looking at World Series or division odds or?
I have World Series up.
Okay, because I'm going to turn them over because I got the Westgate from about a week or so ago.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, we could compare contrast, see what the lines have moved. The overwhelming favorite is the LA Dodgers, the champion from last year and year before. They're plus 220 to win the World Series. I guess we start there. Do you? I can't imagine that you like them.
I'll go back because I can also give the opening odds from the Westgate, which was, I believe, after the divisional series last year, or after the pennant. So the League Series, but before the World Series started, I'm pretty sure. Dodgers actually opened at 4-1. So this is before they won the World Series, but they were we knew they were in the World Series.
Sure.
They are now down, at least as of the printing of this about 10 days ago, 2-1.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know that you should bet anything 2-1. A, to tie up your money that long for such a short return. And B, who knows about the injuries? Who knows what kind of start? There may be all of a sudden you might see, I don't know, the Padres get off to a hot start or something, and the Dodgers unlikely, but look, they could suffer some pitching injuries, etc., and maybe they actually go up a little bit. Although it's hard to see them going up, but 2-1 doesn't give you that much that you can lower them anymore unless you make them a favorite, and then you get a lot of people. In fact, they're even money to win the National League pennant. They opened at 7-4, which is plus 175.
Do you think they deserve to be this much of a favorite?
Well, given their payroll, yeah. Considering what they've done over the last 5-6 years as far as making the postseason and winning and making and winning World Series, yeah. I mean, from a mathematical standpoint, of course, but I mean, no, I don't. Do I have the season win totals here? I thought I did, but they may not have had them when I picked up this set of sheets.
Okay. Well, I know they added Kyle Tucker to their lineup, which is kind of absurd given that they already had a great lineup.
Yeah.
So they're definitely the best team. But I agree with you. Like plus 220 for what is it? 7 months or so. It just doesn't.
Yeah. Well, through November.
Yeah.
What we got? End of March, end of April, May, June, July, August, September, 7 months plus.
Yeah, so it doesn't make that much sense. And
if I'm going to take a shot in that division, Padres always field a good team with pitching, and they got some good offense. And right now, the Padres, who opened 30-1, remain 30-1. And you're going to get odds on the other 4 teams in the division, including the Rockies. Well, the Rockies are bad, but let's say on the Giants and on the Diamondbacks, because the Dodgers are such huge favorites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in fact, Padres to win the National League West, the Dodgers they opened minus 800. They're now 1-12, meaning 12, minus 1,200.
Mm-hmm.
So the Padres are 11-1 to win the division. Giants are 21-1. Arizona's 28-1, and Colorado is 300-1. Colorado, I think, is the team that's projected to get the most losses this year.
Yeah, they were awful last year.
So let me just see. I don't have the up-to-date roster here, but I know that I've liked the Padres pitching staff for the last few years, and they've had their chances. Arizona's the team that could be in for a nice season as well. They seem to have been putting good competitive teams together the last number of years. Let me see. I didn't get a lot of time to prepare for what we're going to do tonight as far as getting the materials together that I would like to have. But Michael King, starting pitcher. Let me see who else I have here. Yu Darvish, who's probably towards the end of his career, but still relatively effective. Who am I missing? Well, then Mason Miller, the closer. Joe Musgrove, who was injured, Wandy Peralta. Yeah, Nick Pivetta is okay. It's a good. It's a good roster. Let me see. Nothing exciting about catchers. Xander Bogaerts is a quality player. Machado, of course, maybe the best offensive player on the team. Jackson Merrill had a good year 2 years ago. Decent. Fernando Tatis. So they can match up somewhat. I do like their bullpen. So if you're betting the Padres or the Giants or the Diamondbacks, you have to approach it that, well, certainly to win the division, you have to approach it that you're likely not going to win that bet. So maybe there's a situation where you play the Dodgers, you play the Padres to not to win the division, but to win the pennant, because you're talking about a 7-game series, or to win the World Series because you're talking about a 7-game series, rather than having to have a better record over 162 games, where the best team normally wins over 162 games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, injuries all evening out and not being too disparate between the teams. So I haven't done anything, and I'll see if I want to do anything, because these odds will be up, for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, 11-1 is nice for the Padres to win the division. To win the pennant, the Padres, again, because they're playing in the West, 18-1.
Okay. Yeah.
Win the World Series, 30-1. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing on the screen here, I have 33-1 for the Padres.
World Series?
World Series, yeah. And you mentioned the Diamondbacks. They are 70-1 here.
Yeah.
Is that the
Diamondbacks, let me see what they are. See, they're 55-1 to win the pennant, and they are 100-1 to win the World Series, which, again, that's inflated somewhat because of the Dodgers. I think the Padres are the better team than the Diamondbacks, and it's reflected in the odds. How much better? I'm not sure. But that would be, if I were going to pick a long shot out of that division, it would be the Padres.
Okay.
But I don't know that there's any great start. And then the reason I say I'd rather play them to win the pennant is because they've got an opportunity to be one of the wild cards.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the division to make the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So, all right, we can exit the NL West there. Your Yankees are the next favorite, 10-1. So they had that nice win tonight. The other New York team, 13-1.
Well, that's also going to be a very competitive division, the National League East. In fact, as we go through them, I'll give these division odds, because that's a better way of telling how competitive these teams are going to be. Yankees plus 175, Toronto plus 260, Boston plus 330, Baltimore plus 465, and then all the way down to 25-1 for Tampa Bay. So you're looking at a division where all four teams are the top four teams are less than 5-1 to win the division.
Mm-hmm. So how would you shake that out in the AL East with the Yankees? Do you think the 10-1 is a decent number? I mean, they obviously
for the Yankees to win.
Yeah, the World Series.
What, the World Series?
Yeah, 10-1.
10-1 is reasonable because they're going to have a good offense, and
the pitching's the question mark, right?
It is, because Cole's banged up again. In fact, I think, let me see. I think 3 of the starters are starting the season injured. Let me get that up here. I think Clark Schmidt, I believe, is one of the ones who's starting the season injured. And let me get their roster here.
Okay.
Let's see who we have here. Garrett Cole, elbow, 15 days. Chase Hampton, that's no big deal. Carlos Rodon, proven starter age. He's on the 15-day injured list with an elbow. And elbows are tough to come back from, so it might be longer. And Clark Schmidt's already on the 60-day DL, and I think all 3 of them were expected to be in the rotation. Now you got Luis Gil, who, what was he, rookie of the year, I think 2 years ago, rookie pitcher or something. Max Fried at the top of the rotation with Cole being out there. With Cole comes back, I think they were talking about mid-May for him, possibly. Then you got Cam. I wonder how long it's going to take for them to mispronounce Cam Schlittler. He had that great game in the playoffs last year against Boston.
Yeah.
He's now in the rotation. I'm not quite sure who else. Ryan Yarbrough can start some games, but I think he's Ryan Weathers, I think they like. So we'll see how that goes out. De Los Santos, I think he's going to be in the bullpen. Blackburn, I think he is capable of pitching in relief and starter. So, yeah, I think overall the Yankees will have the best roster in the division.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 175. Once again, because of these odds being so short in some of these divisions, I probably look to play the Yankees to win the American League.
Okay.
Although there's another team that I like probably a little bit more, and they're actually the second favorite. Yankees are plus 375 to win the American League. The other team I like, Seattle Mariners. I've always liked their pitching,
Yeah.
and they're plus 450 to win the American League. Let me see what their division odds. I would imagine they're favorites over Houston. Seattle is even money to win the American League West. Houston is plus 270, Texas plus 325, and then you go 17 to 1 for the Athletics and 34 to 1 for the Angels. Texas has some nice starting pitching as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I probably won't do anything in the futures on those.
Okay. You mentioned Seattle with their pitching. They're 11 to 1 here, so slightly better odds. Let me
win the World Series.
World Series, yeah, and they're 12 to 1 on DraftKings, so even better there. What do you have?
Yeah, see with the Yankees at 10 to 1 the World Series and plus 375 to win the pennant. 10 to 1 the World Series is not bad for the second favorite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, 12 to 1 here, so
12 to 1. What are they to win the pennant there? 6 to 1, 7 to 1.
Do we have that? Let's see. Maybe FanDuel has it. Let's see. League winners.
There you go.
They're the Mariners plus 480.
What are the Yankees? There's a plus 460.
Plus 460. Yeah,
that's a little too low.
What do you have?
Yankees for the Yankees plus 375.
Oh, okay. So Yankees even better here, plus 460.
Yeah, so I was thinking that the reason why I would to play them is because I think Seattle may be every bit as good, certainly pitching wise.
Yeah, their pitching's great, and they have good hitting too with Rodriguez and Raleigh and.
Now if it's Yankees versus Mariners, the thing is if it's Yankees versus Mariners for the American League pennant, neither team will be plus 75 or plus 450 in a head-to-head matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Question is, can I get better than 2 to 1 on either of them?
Yeah.
Because if I can't, I would play. I might play with them both to win the American League and double my money at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because right now you get almost double your money with the Yankees at plus 375. You'd be winning 1 point. Well, no, you'd be getting 3.75 times. Well, you'd be getting less than that because you'd be betting another 100 on the Mariners, let's say, and you will invest 250 to profit to win either 375 or 450.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So with the Mariners, you'd be getting when you throw in the let's say the 100 again, use $100 unit because it's an easy number to work with. You would invest $200 to win either 450 or 375.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically having the Yankees Mariners against the field, and you're getting paid almost 2 to 1 and slightly over 2 to 1 if these two teams meet, or if one of them wins, even if they're not playing the other.
Okay. Yeah,
so it's just a question if that's an acceptable return.
Well, what do you think?
It's marginal.
Okay.
Because so much can happen over the course of a season.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, injuries could just.
But then again,
capsize that.
See, the thing is that who are the realistic challengers to the Mariners in the West? Well, certainly you'd have to say the Astros with their experience, and maybe it is Texas. They're not that far removed from a World Series. And in the American League East, I think you could still say that it's the Yankees. You'd have to think that Toronto and Boston are still going to be competitive. Baltimore should be more competitive than they were last year when they totally had all sorts of injuries, especially to their pitching.
Yeah.
But, in winning the pennant, you don't have to win your division to be able to win the pennant.
Right.
So the Yankees don't have to win the American League East to win the pennant, and Seattle does not have to win the American League West. However, I think both of them are good enough to win the division. They're favorites in their division, but I also think that they are also I thought I saw it here odds because I wish I had the season win total, and I don't think they had that yesterday when I picked it up, but I think they did have the odds to make the playoffs. Let me see here. Yeah, for some reason, I guess I didn't have them. Okay, to make the playoffs, that they do have. Let me just check something else. I got lost. No, didn't get. Okay. To make the playoffs, will the Yankees make the playoffs? Minus 400 on the yes.
Wow.
Will Seattle make the playoffs? I don't know what order they put these in. Oh, okay. Minus 310 on the yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's
So,
bigger disparity than I would have thought.
Yeah, on the no. Yeah, on the yes rather. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, certainly, because I think the Yankees and the Mariners probably have the best rosters top to bottom in the American League. There'll be some improved teams, but those are the ones that I would look at. The Mariners plus the 450 and plus the 375 on the Yankees to win the pennant.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you mentioned Red Sox, Blue Jays, Orioles is all live teams, and
to give you their playoff odds. Baltimore's plus 110 to make the playoffs, minus 130 no. Okay. Boston is minus 190, plus 160 to make the playoffs. And I think I said Toronto's plus 290 yes, minus 380 no. And then Tampa Bay is the fourth team, and they are no, I'm sorry, I read you Tampa Bay is plus 290, yeah, minus 380. Toronto's minus 210, plus 175. So the Yankees are, minus 400, and Toronto's minus 210. And what I say, the Red Sox are minus 190.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Does anything stand out to you there? Is bettable or?
No, not to make the playoffs.
Okay.
I know someone who likes Oakland to make the playoffs.
Oh,
and I think it's because they play in that little bandbox in Sacramento. Because he also has bets on Hurst and Rooker to go over their home run totals. And Oakland to make the playoffs. They call them Oakland here. Actually, it's the Athletics, of course. Plus 475 to make the playoffs. But they have Texas and Seattle and Houston, with much shorter odds. Texas plus 110, which is almost even money. Houston is minus 140. So quite a drop off between those top three and the next two. So
that was my big bet last year, is the Athletics. Not a big bet. I say that jokingly. The last day I was in Vegas, I bet the Athletics to win the World Series at it was 3,000 to 1 or something insane.
Oh. Well, that's okay. I just did that the other day with the small wager on Texas to win the NCAA tournament at it was a 300 to 1.
Okay, you had that out.
They play Purdue.
Yeah. That's
nothing bet. It's not even a pizza bet.
Okay, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
The Athletics. I did that right after that insane 4 home run game Nick Kurtz had.
Nick Kurtz,
yeah. So my thesis was the Athletics lineup is just good, which is already good. It's going to be a lot better with Kurtz just going nuts. And
his kid Rooker, I think, is there.
Yeah, Rooker's really good. Yeah, they made a run. They actually got within 5 or 6 games, I think, of the wild card.
Yeah,
but
I'm trying to see if I have the sheets here, because there was an interesting one, and I may step out for a minute if I can find them. If I can't find them where I'm at, it's an interesting one for the longest winning and longest losing streak by team.
Okay.
So let me see if I have it in front of me. If not, I'm going to, let's see. Well, okay, maybe this is it. No, this is the team to have the most regular season wins is the Dodgers at minus 200. Everybody else, and remember, they didn't go over their total last year, which I think was 103, and I think they won 93 or something. Because they had a lot of pitching injuries. The Yankees are second at 12 to 1.
Wow.
Then you can get the Braves at 14 to 1. And I think Strider's already out for the Braves to start the season. The Mariners 14 to 1. Mets 14 to 1. Cubs 18 to 1, etc. And then they have the most losses. You want to throw away $10 to win $30,000?
Okay.
Dodgers 3,000 to 1.
What
That
would
was
have
most
to happen? What would have to happen for that to occur? Like,
They'd have to all come down with COVID, long-term COVID.
they still would be better than the Rockies.
No, I don't know about that.
I don't know. The
Because
Rockies are
they probably
terrible.
I don't know what their minor league system is like, but I'm sure that when they acquired by trade, they give up a lot in their minor league system. The Rockies are minus 250.
Wow. That seems
Nationals
so
are plus
bad.
375. And then the Cardinals, who are supposed to be bad, 9 to 1. Let me see here. MVP national. Okay, that's national championship. Yeah, that. Okay, let me see here. Pitching, most wins, most strikeouts, home runs. Let me see here. I know I saw it yesterday, so I know I have it at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Give me about 3 minutes to see if I can find it.
Okay. All right. The question here, K-Make Eagle. Rumor has it that Ohtani wants to go for the Cy Young. I think he's 20 to 30 to 1. He has 11 strikeouts in last spring training game. I like the Marlins to make the playoffs 6 to 1. Okay. So yeah, a couple things there. So I'd be upset if Ohtani went for the Cy Young, just being selfish, because I have a few of his so rare cards. I almost said Rainmakers, which is still upsetting. I have a couple of Ohtani so rare cards, and I hope I can make money on them. You don't make as much money on Ohtani pitching as you do hitting on so rare. So I'm hoping that's not the case, but I don't know. It's, I mean, if I guess he could do it maybe, but I don't know. 20 to 30 to 1 is interesting. But yeah, I guess it might be worth a shot. And then Marlins to make the playoffs 6 to 1. Let's look at the odds for the Marlins. And I actually, the Athletics are kind of interesting to me again. I like riding them with Nick Kurtz. The Marlins, let's see where they are. So they're 175 to 1. So you like them at 6 to 1 to make the playoffs, but yeah, the World Series is 175 to 1. At DraftKings, they're even higher, 200 to 1 for the Marlins. I kind of like their lineup. They've a couple of underrated guys, and they play the Rockies this week, so they better hit a lot this week. We'll see if they don't score too many runs, we can probably count them out. But I mean, everyone scores on the Rockies. I know the Rockies pitching is so bad. So, and that's so rare thing I was talking about. I like specifically target NL West players, players from the Giants, not the Rockies, the players from the Giants, Diamondbacks, Dodgers, and the Padres. Just so I can have as many games as possible against the Rockies, so I can stack my lineup against the Rockies. That's how bad they are. If you look at like player stats like throughout the year, like most players have their best games against the Rockies, and so that's how bad the Rockies are. Just want to stack against them. So, Andy, are you back yet? I hear something going on there, but your camera's not working, so I don't know if you're there. So. I hear more.
I must have left it in the car.
Okay, it's okay. So, what do you think about K-Make Eagle's question? He has he thinks Ohtani might go for the Cy Young. He's 20 to 30 to 1 for the Cy Young.
Let me see what they have the odds here at Westgate. Ohtani. He's probably got better odds there. 18 to 1 here.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go to 21.
I don't know. Dodgers got to be careful with him. He's so important as keying the offense that I almost wonder. I haven't heard anything that would suggest this, but I almost wonder if they might have him skip a start every couple of times through the rotation.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, again, I don't know. Maybe And I don't know how much he would have to say about it because he probably wants to pitch. If he could pitch every third day, he might want to because he's a competitor and all that. But the long term say that they were very careful with him when they brought him back to pitch last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why they would want to do all that. Although pitching has been a bit of a concern for the Dodgers, and that's probably why they did not come close to achieving their season win total last year.
Yeah, that's true. Well, for them,
but again, they don't care about exceeding their season win total. They care about win the division. Don't have to play in a wild card round, and have hopefully have the best record in the National League, so that you're playing at home.
Right. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, if you can get 30-1 odds, that might not be a bad thing. Any time you're playing one of these futures where there are, let's see, for the Cy Young Award here at the Westgate, there are, I think it's 40 players listed, I think, in each league.
Yeah.
You have to expect you're not going to win.
Right.
Because you're going up against 39 other possible players. Now, obviously, there are some that have long odds, but I take a look at the favorites right now in the National League. Chris Sale and Christopher Sanchez of the Phillies, who's pitching to. No, I'm sorry. Paul Skeens is plus 225, and Shohei's teammate Yamamoto is plus 425.
Right.
And then you got Sale at 9-1 and Sanchez at 9-1, and then here's another one, Snell 16-1. In the American League, Tariq Skubal is plus 225. Garrett Crochet plus 325. Hunter Brown and Jacob DeGrom are next at 10-1, and everybody goes, up from there.
Okay.
The only one that seems to have gotten, and I don't understand this one. Well, I guess they just forgot to put him on there because they usually list these things at the opening odds, and some of these players are not in order. Aaron Nola at 80-1.
Oh, wow.
He might be 80-1 to stay in a rotation by the end of the year. He's not been very good lately.
Okay, yeah, that's weird. Sanchez, I know, is he's expected.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's expected to. He's already good. He's expected to make the next step.
He's the ace of the staff going into the season.
Yeah. That makes sense. So, okay, and the other part of his question, he likes the Marlins to make the playoffs at 6-1, and I pointed out the Marlins 200-1 to win the World Series. What do you think about the Marlins?
Well, I think the only team they're better than in the division is Washington. Let me see where they were in the most losses. Let me see here. Okay, least regular season wins. The Nationals. The Marlins were the 7th choice at 30-1 to lead the majors in losses. To lead the majors in wins, the Marlins are, well, it's pretty much the reverse. 500-1 to have the most wins. Now, to make the playoffs, since I do have that one here, let me go back to that one. Okay, well, the Marlins make the playoffs. Plus 500 on the yes, minus 750 on the no.
Okay, so he's getting him at
6-1. And just to compare that to the rest of the National League East, Braves are minus 195 on the yes. The Mets are minus 240 on the yes, and the Phillies are minus 290 on the yes. So that's, 3 teams in the division. One of those 3 is expected to be the division winner. and then the other two are very highly priced favorites to make it. So, and then you got to believe that the Padres, maybe the Diamondbacks or the Giants, are a better chance than Miami, and then even in the Central, Cubs and Brewers figure to be good. A lot of people like Cincinnati. In fact, let's see if I can find something in there. Cubs to make the playoffs minus 265. Reds are plus 160 to make the playoffs. That might not be a terrible thing to wager on because I like the makeup of that team. And who was the other one I mentioned in that division? The Brewers. The Brewers, probably the favorite. Well, for minus 125.
Okay.
Yeah, so I could see taking a shot with Cincinnati.
Okay.
What did I say that one was? Plus 160. Yeah.
Yeah, Cincinnati is where are they to win the World Series? Let's see. Reds are right here, 50-1 to win the World Series on FanDuel. And on DraftKings, they are 55-1. Does that appeal to you?
55-1? No.
No? Okay.
No. Let me see what they are to win the division.
Okay.
Because that might be, if they're plus 160 to make the playoffs, that's not a terrible price. I mean, it's not a long shot by any means.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. To win the National League Central, Cincinnati is plus 475.
Okay.
The long shot in that division, and this surprises a lot of people, St. Louis.
Wow.
37-1.
Wow. That team is
they have fallen rapidly the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, what happened? They're always like one of the best teams. They're such a well-run organization.
I believe it's their farm system hasn't been able to develop much in the way of players. And they've just I didn't think much of the managing as far as that went on the last few years. So
well, they're right down there with the Rockies and the Nationals.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't find the season win total that I thought I had picked up, but I didn't play any of those this year.
Okay. Okay.
Been too busy with college basketball the last month and a half.
Yeah, college basketball has been fun. Okay, let's.
I've now got, I think, 8 of the 16 teams futures, 8 of the Sweet 16.
Really?
Yeah.
What numbers do you have? Do you? I mean, if you don't have the head.
I'm trying to see what I have them at. Let's see if I can find them. I think the only ones I added, I think I had 5 going into St. John's. I have it like 70-1.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan State, I played today at 30-1. I did not have them pre-tournament.
Okay.
Vanderbilt at 70-1. Houston 14-1. Arkansas 50-1. The one of the 8 plays that I made, Gonzaga is out. Alabama at 25-2, which is plus 12.5, and Iowa State at 16-1. And I also have I played Illinois.
Okay.
And then I mentioned Texas, and trying to remember the other one I played. St. John's, Michigan. Bear with me a moment here. I'll find it. It was, let's see, I played Alabama, Michigan State. Oh, Texas.
Okay.
No, I already had Alabama, Michigan State. I played Texas. I played. I did have Illinois and Iowa State, but I didn't have Illinois. I played before then, so I'm trying to remember who I played besides Texas. Let me see here. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, Michigan State, Alabama, and Texas. Yeah, that's who I played. I had already had Alabama before, but I put a little bit more than the 12.5-1. Can they get by Michigan's been vulnerable defensively in the first 2 games.
Yeah, they have.
So
yeah.
And Alabama, they got to deal with the size of Michigan. But anyway, that's where I'm at as far as futures go.
Okay.
And if you want to go over the games, we can do that.
Well, let's clear up baseball first, and then we could jump to that.
Oh, okay. We're not done with baseball. Okay, let's go ahead with baseball.
Well, I wanted to ask you about the NL East with the Mets and the Phillies. Like, how do you see that division shaking out?
I still think Philadelphia is the best team.
Okay.
In the division. Let me see what those odds are.
Okay,
I told you they're both.
Yeah, the Phillies are 16-1, but the Mets are 13-1.
Yeah, Philly's got some good offense, a lot of experience. Pitching is a concern, I think, for both teams.
Yeah. Yeah, although the Phillies have Sanchez at least.
Yeah, he's good. I'm not going to count on Nola. Let me get over to their projected rotation. Sanchez, they have Nola. Jesus Luzardo, he's okay. Tawan Walker, he's all right. Andrew Painter, he's a young kid that's going to be expected to be in there. Closer, Jose Alvarado. Johan Duran. Brad Keller out of the bullpen. And let me take a look at the Mets here.
Okay.
So I haven't committed all this to memory yet. Nolan McLean, a lot of people like him. He might very well be Rookie of the Year if he lives up to. But David Peterson, Kodai Senga, Clay Holmes, and Sean Manaea, none of them really excite me.
Yeah.
But that lineup is going to be, Francisco Alvarez, Jorge Polanco came over, Marcus Semien came over. They're going to clearly miss Alonso.
Yeah.
For his power.
This is Baltimore, right?
Yeah. Francisco Lindor, MVP caliber player. Juan Soto. So I think probably the Mets appear to have, I think, the better overall offensive depth than Philly, but I give Philly the edge in pitching.
Okay. Yeah, I think
right
I would agree with that. Yeah. So, okay. So we went that division. What did, like, before we?
I don't know why my video is shaking there.
I don't know. I don't really see anything. Hey Dom, how's it going? Yeah, it's it looks like it's weird. It's shaking.
It is because I'm looking at it and the connection isn't loose and the camera's not blinking, so must be something in the connection.
Okay, so
maybe I'll just turn it off for a bit, give it a little rest.
So do you have like a top value bet here for winning the World Series? Like maybe something in the 20s or 30s?
Well, I said San Diego.
San Diego is okay. So I know that
30-1.
You discussed that when we went over that division, but that is your favorite.
Well, no, I discussed it saying that rather than playing them to win the division or make the playoffs because of short price, that I would play them to win the pennant, and if you want to throw something on the World Series as well.
Okay. Are there any other teams you like?
Yeah, right. Yeah, the Padres were 30-1 for the series, at least here at the one that I'm looking at, Westgate, and 18-1 to win the pennant. Okay. And again, I think they have a better chance in a short series, a 7-game series, to win the World Series or the pennant than they do in beating the Dodgers out for the division at relatively. I said what the decent odds on them to win the West. Padres. 11-1. 11-1. I'd probably need more than that when you're going up against a team that's 12-1 the other way to win a division. 1-12. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So any other good values? Maybe a Detroit 22-1. You got them? Or Kansas City?
No, Cleveland, I think, is an interesting team. They've got a nice filled out roster.
Okay, they're 60 to 1 here, 70 to
Yeah.
1 on DraftKings.
Yeah, I Yankees and Toronto and Seattle. Seattle again. Like I said, if you want to do something with Seattle, let's see, Yankees. Excuse me, 10 to 1. Mariners, 12 to 1. You take a shot with both of those.
Yankees, Mariners. Okay.
And if you like pitching, I think you prefer Seattle. If you like hitting, you might prefer the Yankees, but Seattle can hit also. You mentioned Cal Raleigh, a couple of others, and Cleavers. Yeah, that's very good. Cleavers. We have a Cleavers out here.
Yeah, I've never. I think I've heard of it, but I've never.
I think that's a sister restaurant of a place called Herbs and Rye.
I've never heard of that.
Which we've had out in Vegas here for many years.
Okay. Yeah, I never heard of that. So, what is Cleaver serve? What is to
me, it's just a general menu. I don't
Okay.
think it's a specialty in anything, at least from the stuff that I look at on menus.
Okay. Okay. So, and last thing, you mentioned that your friend likes the Athletics.
Yeah.
They're 100 to 1 here. They are 81 DraftKings, so you get a better price than FanDuel. Would you?
I wouldn't do anything with them. No.
So why do you think your friend likes them? Just the hitting with Carson?
I think I think the hitting and the playing in the small park, and I think he's an A's fan.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that explains it.
But he doesn't know. He's been betting for years. He said this is the first time like he's mentioned them in like 12 years.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to get excited about the hitting that they have.
Yeah.
The pitching, on the other hand, is an abomination.
Plays in the same small park.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's bounce over to college basketball.
Oh, I like that bounce over. Very good.
I know.
Did you save that one up like all week or something, or?
Yeah, it was been 6 days. I knew we were going to talk about this.
That's why you're saving that line up. Very good. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, stakes. Okay, yeah, I'm a fan.
Hold on, I'm going to disconnect for a second to see.
Okay. Philly's getting old fast. That's true. That's true. I still think they could have a good year though, but not for too much longer though. Okay, so you're in Vegas. That's awesome. Hope you have fun out there. Hope you have fun out there. I'm jealous. I wish I could be in Las Vegas.
Oh, it's a great weekend to be there. The college tournaments.
Yeah.
And the beginning of baseball season as well.
Yeah, and the Houston Open. So we hit with Matt Fitzpatrick at 15 to 1 last week. So hopefully we can get another winner. That'd be cool. All right, let's look at college basketball here. Let's break down the games first, and then maybe we could bet on a national champion or Final Four. So we have Texas, Purdue, and you mentioned that you bet Texas
just for fun, just because of the odds.
Okay. What odds again because I know Dom came in here.
Let me see what we had here. Hold on, let me.
Okay. Well, let me bring up what they are right now. They are at FanDuel. They are 150 to 1. That's pretty
let
crazy.
Me see.
They only have to win 4 games. Like that's feels like doable.
Yeah, let me see where I had them here. I have no organization. I wish you could see a picture of the desk and everything. There's papers everywhere.
That's funny.
They're all in groups. But let me see the. Okay. Texas, the reposted odds on Texas 300 to 1.
Wow. Okay, so that's a great bargain compared to the 150 to 1 that we have here.
Well, can they beat Texas? Sean Miller's a really good coach. He proved it at Xavier, and before that at Arizona. And Texas, they recruit well.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I'm going to see if I can call up on my app the current lines. In fact, bear with me just one moment.
Okay. All right, let's look at some of these other odds. We have Duke at plus 430, Arizona at plus 370, and Michigan actually the favorite at 3-1.
Just had to get the charger up
Yeah.
for this phone. It was charging the other phone, so
Okay.
let's see if I can get the.
Okay. For the Final Four, we have Texas at 14-1. So not too bad there. That's pretty incredible. You have like 14-1 to reach Final Four, and then 300-1, or at least.
Well, I will give you the future odds. I'll give it to you for all 16 teams if you want.
Yeah.
I'll do it slowly so you can find it wherever you're writing it down.
Okay.
Oh, they also have the exacta.
Yeah, they have exactas here too.
Yeah. Let me go back to the future. Okay. Houston is 6-1.
Okay.
Duke
we have Houston plus 650 here.
Okay. Duke is plus 425.
Plus 430 here.
Purdue's 12-1.
13-1 here.
Oh, you're getting better odds. Arkansas is 40-1.
We have 50-1.
UConn 22-1.
Same.
Alabama 10-1.
8 Alabama. Yep. You mean 100-1? Alabama.
No, 10-1.
We have Alabama 80-1 here.
I don't know. Maybe they must have taken a lot of bets from Alabama.
That can't be right. It can't be 10-1.
Michigan is 3-1.
Michigan, we have the same.
St. John's 30-1.
33-1 here. I bet them at 50-1.
Okay. Tennessee 70-1.
Okay, we have worse. We have 65-1.
Arizona plus 350.
We have plus 370.
Michigan State 30-1.
We have the same.
Iowa State 18-1.
We have 17-1, so worse.
Iowa 10-1.
Iowa. We have 80-1 as well. That's got to be 100-1.
It's weird. Well, no, because you see, what I think it must be on the app is wrong because on the paper, Alabama is 100-1. It shows plus 1,000, which is 10-1, but it should be plus 100,000, which is 100-1, which is what it shows on the printed sheet. And the same thing for Iowa, it shows plus 10,000 on the printed sheet, which is 100-1, and 10-1 on the app.
Yeah,
because I guess they can't fit it out that wide. Illinois 16-1.
We have same.
And Nebraska 70-1.
We have 65.
Okay, so really they're all the same except for these two that seem odd, and then when we did it, they're both the same, right? 100-1 on Alabama and on Iowa.
Yeah, well, we have 80-1 here, but it sounds like they're just missing a 0 on the app.
Yeah.
So okay, so what do you like here as far as and you mentioned the ones you bet already, Michigan State.
Yeah. Well, let me see if I were starting from scratch.
Yeah.
At the current odds that I mentioned, I believe. Let me just check it here. Let's go in the Houston region. Illinois at 16-1 is interesting because if they can get by Nebraska, if they can get by Houston, who's the favorite, I don't see why they can't get by Iowa or Nebraska. I think they're better than both of those teams, and it's the same conference, the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Houston deserves to be the favorite. Plus 600. Now, the thing is, of course, how much you would get, and that's where some of these odds come into play. Illinois, 16-1. Well, let me see what they are money line against Houston. They are plus, where is it here? Plus 145 money line Okay. So they're plus 145. So you bet 100. You got 245 to roll it over in the game against Iowa-Nebraska winner.
Yeah.
I would think Illinois would be favored, but let's say let's be conservative and say okay, they are even money. So your 245 even money becomes 490. So let's say 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
They would probably be, and again, it depends who they would face in the other half of their bracket. And let's see, that is, I got to get my other sheet out here for getting the brackets together. That won't take long.
Okay.
Okay, they would play the winner of the, where's it, East and South. They would play the winner of the East, which is the Devils division, Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, and UConn. I'm thinking Illinois would probably be an underdog. Well, they would to Duke. Don't know about St. John's. Don't know about Michigan State or Connecticut. But let's say, for argument's sake, at worst, they are even money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So your 5-1 becomes doubles to 10, and your 10 becomes 20, which is 19-1. So if you like Illinois, rather than play the well, it's probably true of all of these.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the math, usually if you can accurately determine what the line and the corresponding what the point spread and then the corresponding money line would be, you're almost always better rolling it over.
Right. Yeah.
If you have that discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might say, well, I got my 14-1 by making it to the final game. I'm happy rather than let it ride.
Right.
But if you rather than let it ride, I get the 19-1 instead of having played it right now at 16-1. So
yeah, defeats the whole purpose of the whole thing.
Yeah, it does. But then again, you have your opportunity to hedge.
Right.
And say, okay, you know what? I invested $100. I can, if Illinois is even money, again, it depends. They wouldn't be against Duke. But, if they're even money, that means that the team that they're playing is minus 120. There's some maneuverability there.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can at least make a profit. The idea is to make a profit out of every transaction.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's on a transaction by transaction basis. And, see, people say, well, you bet them at 16-1. Why don't you let it ride? Yeah, I bet it was 16-1 because it'll give me hedging possibilities if I advance as far enough.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm someone who comes to Vegas and I don't do this professionally or even frequently, and I come to Vegas once or twice a year, and I live in Chicago, and I came here back. Let's say I came back here this weekend to watch the Sweet 16 games. I'm not going to be able to roll it over because I'm not going to be here. I'll take the 16-1. That's okay.
Yeah.
Because although they do have legalized betting in Chicago, so they still can do hedging. But I'm talking about more of a casual fan, like me, and taking my 5,000-1 on Penn to win the region.
Well, they had a lead. They had 2-0 lead.
Yeah, but I mean, I made the bet just to have the bet on that 5,000-1 and 20,000-1.
Right.
To win the region. I bet $5. That's more than enough.
Yeah.
I figured I am purchasing a $10 souvenir that has Penn in the NCAA tournament because of a stupid coaching decision by Yale.
Well, you actually did you get the actual slip or did you do it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I wouldn't do it if I couldn't get the ticket.
I know, I was about to say that would ruin it. No, that's awesome. So, anyway, we had
so Illinois at 16-1.
Okay.
I don't like if you like a future. Nebraska is interesting. They're a really good defensive team. They never won a game in the history of the program until this year, and now they've won 2 in a row. So they're playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Can they get by Illinois or Houston? Well, it's hard to say, but they're going to be they'll be decent-sized underdogs, especially if it's Iowa that plays. And the odds on Iowa, we said are 100-1, and what do we say? Nebraska is 70-1.
Yeah, they are.
I really can't make a
65-1
case
here.
for Nebraska.
You can't? Okay.
I mean, like my bet on Penn, maybe a little more than $5, but basically, because the Cornhuskers have a good solid. Remember, they started 20-0, but a lot of that was non-conference games, and then they. In fact, I will ask you. I'm going to throw a quiz at you.
Okay.
I took a look at all 16 teams, and I wanted to see of the 16 teams what the longest winning streak they had this year was, what the longest losing streak they had this year was, and obviously what their current winning streak is right now. A total of 5 of the 16 teams did not lose back-to-back games all season. Want to guess who they were?
5 of the 16 teams. Let's see. I'm going to say. I just want to say the number 1 seeds. Let's say Arizona.
That would be incorrect.
Really? Okay.
Arizona is 34-2, and both losses were back-to-back in midseason after they'd won 23 in a row to start the season.
Wow. What about the Duke and Michigan?
Duke and Michigan did not lose back-to-back games. I think Duke lost twice all season. Michigan lost 3 all season.
Okay, so that's 2 out of the 5.
2 out of the 5.
What about Houston?
No, Houston actually lost 3 in a row.
3 in a row. Okay.
I thought they were good teams. I think that was when they lost to Arizona, Kansas, and Arizona, Kansas, and maybe it was Texas Tech in the 3 in a row before Toppin got injured for Texas Tech.
Okay. Let me see here. What about is Nebraska part of it? I mean, they obviously had that great start. No,
they had that great start, but their longest streak actually was 2 in a row.
Okay. St. John's.
Yeah, St. John's was 1. In fact, St. John's, I want to say they have now won 22 of their last 23, including 13 in a row, which matches that's their longest streak of the season, and it's their current streak of the season entering the Sweet 16. Now, what was the team we were talking about before that?
Nebraska.
Was it Nebraska? Nebraska lost back-to-back, but they won 20 in a row. St. John's. Yeah, St. John's won 20 out of 20. They're playing hot. Arizona's actually, after that back-to-back losses, when they won 20, they've won 11 in a row since then.
Okay. Is Michigan State there?
So you got St. John's.
St. John's, Michigan, and Duke.
Yeah, St. John's, and there's 2 more. Which was the one you just mentioned, Michigan State?
Michigan State.
Michigan State, no, they lost twice in a row.
What about Connecticut?
Connecticut is also one of them that did not lose back-to-back games. And I think they lost like 6 games.
Okay.
They're spread out.
Okay, so that's 4. Who could the other one be? Illinois?
Nope.
No.
This one might surprise you.
Yeah.
I will say that their longest winning streak was 7 in a row, and they're currently on that winning streak.
So they'd had to win their conference tournament.
Yeah. Very strong finish to the season. And this one did surprise me because I think they lost like 7 or 8 games. Again, spread out.
Yeah. Was it Arkansas?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, they Okay, it makes sense.
In fact, those 4 teams, the 4 teams right there, I think have the longest current winning streaks. Purdue has won 6 in a row. Everybody's won at least 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Okay, because obviously they won the first 2 games of the tournament. Sure. Texas has won 3 in a row, and again, all in the tournament because they won the playoff game. Mm-hmm. Purdue, which won the Big Ten titles, won 6 in a row. Arkansas won the SEC title. They've won 7 in a row. Arizona, the Big 12 title, they've won 11 in a row. St. John's, the Big East title, they've won, I said 13 in a row, but I think that's 8 in a row they've won. Mm-hmm. Duke, has won 13 in a row right now, and then everybody else has won 2 in a row.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
I'm trying to see because St. John's. Yeah, I thought I had that down a little differently. Let me see St. John's here. I think St. John's had to have been the 13 in a row. Where did I get Duke from? Let me see, because I remember that St. John's last loss was that blowout to
Connecticut,
UConn.
right? Yeah.
That's the thing that turned things around. So let me see. Let's see where Duke is here. Duke and St. John's. They play Friday. Okay, Duke. Yeah, I think Duke is. I think I switched those 2 teams around. Let me see here.
Mm-hmm.
Duke has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, they've won 13. So St. John's must be the 7 in a row. So yeah, maybe that late. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they've won 8 in a row.
Okay.
They lost the 72-40 loss was late in February, the 25th. So they've won 8 in a row since then. And yeah, that's what I show, 8 in a row. Yeah. So that region, where is it now? St. John's, Duke, Michigan State, and UConn. They've won 13 in a row, 8 in a row, and UConn and Michigan State, neither of whom won their conference tournament, have won 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But the back-to-back losses is something I like to look at because and now obviously it's meaningless here because once you lose, you're out. But what it shows me is how teams bounce back after a loss, especially good teams.
Right.
And as I say, they take a look at all 16 teams here. The worst that they've done, the longest losing streak any of them had, Houston, Iowa, Texas, Purdue, Iowa. I'm sorry. Yeah, Houston, Iowa, Texas, and Purdue are the only teams that lost 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting is Texas and Purdue both play each other.
Yeah. It's interesting. Kim says, I bet Houston to get to the Final Four at plus 130. I think I have a bet on that as well. I believe. I like Houston to get through.
Well, the thing with Houston, again, remember they play tomorrow night or tonight for you folks on the East. They will play the winner of Iowa, Nebraska. And because it's being played in Houston, all the Illinois people, if they lose tomorrow night, will be going home. And either Iowa's fans or Nebraska's fans will be going home, especially if it's Nebraska fans going home because they travel well, as you saw last week. That means that the tickets that Nebraska fans and Illinois fans won't be using, well, you're either going to have Iowa fans or Houston fans picking them up. And I'll have to believe that there's probably 10 or 15 to 1 the number of Houston fans for each Iowa fan. So that means that final between, well, in this case, it would be Houston and Iowa. It's going to be a very pro-Houston crowd, and they're the better team to begin with.
Yeah.
So I think Houston to get to the Final Four is at plus 130. Well, let me see, because the line against Illinois, let me see what, because I want to think again about the rollover possibilities. And let me see, the money line for Houston versus Illinois is roughly minus 150 to minus 155. And they would probably be significantly greater. Let me see what the biggest lines are here. I'll see if I can find an equivalent there. Arizona is 8 over Arkansas. And let's see. What's the other big line? Is Michigan is 9 over Alabama, but that's a style thing. So for argument's sake, let's say that Houston is minus 8 over Iowa. So right now, minus 8, and that takes into account playing at home and all that. In their home thing. So let's see, what did I say? Arizona is like 8 over Arkansas.
Yeah.
That's equivalent to about a minus 370.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see what minus 370 and what did I say? Minus 155.
Yeah.
Let me see what that pays here. We'll do $100 on a 2-team parlay at minus 1.55. And what I say the one on Arkansas was minus. I'm sorry, minus. Yeah, minus. Let me see here.
So minus 150. You said it.
No, you one. I said one. I think
no,
155.
155.
And
yeah.
it would be what did I say?
$370?
Minus 370. Minus 360.
Yeah, 360. Okay.
Okay, so minus 360. So that $100 parlay would pay basically 2 to 1.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Basically even money, plus 110. So if you're getting plus 130, you're doing well.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
make
I
the Final
thought that.
Four.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah. So those favorites, you know.
yeah.
By the way, just to keep it, because it comes up handy in baseball, and I mention it every year.
Mhm.
You know, if you parlay a pair of 2 to 1 favorites in baseball, which is a significant favorite, okay, a 2 to 1 has a 67% chance of winning if you're laying 2 to 1. That's
Mhm.
mathematical odds. You parlay a minus 200 with a minus 200, it's like playing a plus 125 underdog.
Okay.
You get plus 125.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it would be an underdog, but yeah.
No, but I mean that's one of the ways to
yeah.
to look at it. So
Yeah.
So plus one, getting plus 130 to make the Final Four, assuming it was just assuming the bet was just made, you know, like
Mhm.
tonight or you know after the first 2 rounds, plus 130 is a good price.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, no, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to roll it over because
Right.
you already got the plus 130.
That's true. Well,
So-
I mean, what if I was thinking about this? What if the underdog wins and you're not getting as good of a number in the Elite Eight?
No, that Iowa would be the underdog. Iowa is the underdog against Nebraska.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that Iowa would be the 8-point underdog, not Nebraska.
Right. I meant for Houston's number.
Yeah.
I meant. Yeah.
No, I'm saying yeah. Houston. Yeah, Houston would be laying less.
Yeah.
Than minus 370.
Mm-hmm.
So you might end up getting a little bit better, but you know, if we could do it this way. Let me see what a 3-point. Let me see where's one of those 3-point teams. I'll do it that way because you might be getting better if you roll it over, but then you're gambling on there not being an upset, which I guess is reasonable. Okay, let me see the money line for. Let's take. Well, no. See, the thing is that Houston, even if Nebraska wins, Houston would still be a solid favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 320.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there'd be it's a 5-point difference between minus 3 and minus 8 as far as that goes. So,
right.
I would say, if you look at Houston laying minus 800. I'm sorry, minus. What I say, minus 370 on the money line. Maybe I'll tell you what. Let's see what happens if they lay 2 to 1.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do that one here. Okay. Okay. What do we say? Houston is. What did I say? Let's see. Okay, minus 155. Again, okay. Let's say it's about the same. What did we say they are? About a 2.5-point favorite over Illinois.
Yeah.
So let's say minus 225 because maybe they'll be 4.5 or 5 over Nebraska.
Okay.
Because Illinois is much better. You're still not getting much better than. I did that wrong. Hold on a second. Let me hit the wrong number here. Yeah, let's say you're laying minus 225. Well, then you're getting plus 137.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better than the plus 130 at the same time, you're also taking the risk that the money line could be lower than what you would get the 130 if Nebraska if Iowa pulls the upset.
Yeah.
Which, as a 3-point underdog, they could do. And again, they played twice this year during the season. I think they split their 2 meetings, so because they're conference foes. So yeah. So I'll still say plus 130.
Okay.
Because you're looking for form to hold, and form says Houston and Nebraska will meet in the finals. But if if Iowa upsets Nebraska, then you're getting barely even money.
Right.
So.
We have Illinois St. John's tease. You're welcome. Smart asking. 101 says, I usually like to tease in basketball. I don't know if that's something you do.
Oh, did he? What did he tease? 4, 4.5, 5?
I don't know. I mean, you could tell us Illinois. I'm not sure, but I'm not like in football.
The problem is that
Yeah.
Houston has the capability of, they could win this game 65-54.
Yes. They could destroy Illinois. So I don't know about that.
Duke could easily win by a big number, because this number itself is surprisingly large.
It is, yeah.
I already listened to a couple of longtime bookmakers before the round of 32, and they were asked, what would you make the game being played in Washington if it's St. John's and Duke? And they basically said anywhere from -3.5 to -4.5.
Yeah, he has smart assing saying he teased 5 points.
Yeah.
I like teasing in football because you can go through key numbers.
Yeah.
But teasing,
there are no key numbers in basketball because
Right.
the fouling starts depending upon the whim of the coach. Both time and deficit.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Which it kind of refined what we were doing with what Evan discussed in terms of laying the over or betting the over.
Yeah, how did that do?
Well, so initially not great for me, but then I refined
How about
it
for Evan?
I think he got better numbers, so I think he did better. He got better numbers offshore. What I started doing was, because Evan just said to bet the over at the under 4 minute mark. With
a difference of what, 7 to 16, I think. Yes,
and so the problem is you kind of have to do it then on like FanDuel and DraftKings, because those sports books will take the numbers down, and so you ideally like at 2 minutes when they start fouling, that would be great, but they take the number down by then.
And the problem is, to begin with, what you're seeing on TV or following is 30 to 40 seconds behind the actual action.
Yes, and so that's two.
And the good thing is they often have 2-minute commercials at that point of the game.
Right. There are 2 factors here that kind of helped me. One was I started betting on Kalshi. Kalshi does not take the number down ever. There could be 1 second left. They still have over under on it. So
so in other words, they will move it while action is going on. So they might change it every 30 seconds.
Well, they don't change the line. They
adjust the VIG.
They adjust the odds. Yeah. On it. So you can bet whatever you want. You can bet whatever number you want.
In other words, they might go from I don't know how they show it. How do they show it, like -115 or something, or?
It'll be percent. It'll be like 65%. So 65 cents out of 100. So that would. Yeah, so if it's 50-50, it's minus or plus 100. So it adjusts that way.
So if it's like 67%, it's like 1 to 2 or something.
You're right. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So that's how they do it, and it's usually in increments of 3. So if there's the main total showing 150.5, you can go to 153.5 or 147.5.
Oh, so you can ladder it or use alternate lines, basically.
You can ladder alternate lines. Yeah. So Kalshi's so much better because they don't take the number down. So part 1 is I wait until they start fouling. When the losing team starts.
So
fouling.
you don't make your first bet at the 4-minute timeout.
Right. Yeah. So and to what you
Because
said.
I think Evan did. He say he did it during that timeout. That's his first bet.
Sure. Yeah. That's what he said. So that's part one. And part two is what you said. How can you know when the TV's so far behind? So now I just stream the game online, and that's like 5 seconds behind. And so maybe
how do you know? How do you know it's 5 seconds behind?
Because I could see the score change on FanDuel, which is automatic, and then I see what's happening. It's usually
so it's like a 5 to 8 second delay between what you're seeing on the screen and what you're seeing. I'm sorry, what you're seeing on the between what you're seeing on the screen, and then 5 to 8 seconds later, you see that changed on Kalshi.
Yeah. So as soon as I see the other teams start fouling, that's when I bet the over. So that has helped a lot. That's I think it was like 3-1 or 4-1 doing that. So small sample size, but it worked a lot.
Yeah, I don't think there were a lot of games that were either less than a 7-point differential at that point.
Yeah.
Or significantly more than 16.
I told Evan the same thing. It's what it felt like. It felt like, well, I guess it really was. Either a game was a blowout or it was like a 2-point game at the end.
Yeah.
Which you could still do if, like, at 40 seconds they start fouling. You can still bet the over on Kalshi, but you can't do that on FanDuel DraftKings. So they take the number down.
They do that locally here too.
Right. So, but that's why I love
because
Kalshi,
in the back room at the sportsbook they're getting a live feed.
Right. And that's why I love Kalshi, because they don't care. They don't care who wins. they're not betting with people. It's people betting against other people. So that's how it's cool. Kenny joining us. What's all this betting stuff? Never heard of it. I thought the show was all about DraftKings baseball.
Best ball.
Best ball. I'm sorry, best ball. I did about 20 best ball. Kenny, you missed our NFL talk and this great thumbnail that I did where you have Puka Nacua biting a crocodile. This is pretty great. So anyway, we had a question. Walt,
for real life.
Yeah. Walt, do you like Koepka this week in the Houston Open? I didn't bet him. I have him. He's 14th in my model, so you can win. I'm not in love with him. His putting has been bad lately. If you can look at the data golf, I don't think I have a tab for data golf here. So let me show you what I'm seeing with Koepka and his putting. This is 2025. Let's look at 2026. So he's I guess
by the way, I'll just let you know I do need to get off at 15 after the hour.
Okay, well, my dog needs to go out too, so maybe we can.
I gotta send a whole bunch of stuff out tonight to get somewhere by the morning.
Okay, we can wrap up in the next 10 minutes. I have to take my dog out.
We can go to 15 after. We got a half an hour.
Okay, so I'm just saying for my dog, she's right under my desk, so I think she needs to go out. Koepka's putting to start the year was horrible. He's only played in five tournaments. He's lost strokes putting on 3 of the 5. Now he does have great distance off the tee and approach, so that works for him here. I just don't like backing golfers who are struggling with their putter because it feels like that's the way they lose at the end. I mean, just saw what Fitzpatrick did 2 weeks ago. And even at some points last week, and Fitzpatrick's like a better putter than Koepka is. So that's just a general rule that I have, as that I don't like to bet golfers who are struggling with their putter. But Koepka is getting better a little bit. Gained strokes 2 out of 3. And he's gotten better 9th, 13th, 18th. I just feel like he's sort of like a has-been at this point. You're never going to get a good number on him because he's won so many majors, and he won what was the Masters recently? Yeah, he won the Masters, or no, he won the U.S. Open, I think, or one of them, PGA Championship, I think. So he's won tournaments recently, and like I said, you're just not going to get good value on him. So I don't have Koepka for a bet, but I'm not opposed to it either. Okay, let's we could finish up here talking about the games. Are there any specific games you like as far as spreads are concerned for tomorrow or Friday?
Let's see. I haven't bet yet. I may do that. Do that probably early in the morning tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like under in the Illinois-Houston game.
Okay.
I might take Illinois if the line goes to +3. Let me see what I'm showing across the board here now.
Yeah. A +2.5
I do
-1
think
too. So.
Yeah, and I do think the money will come in on. See, I'm showing 2.5 -09, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. I'm showing one local place. They're open till 2 a.m. I may get out there because it's -3 Houston, so I can get the +3. No, no added vig. So I'm looking at the under in that one, which has stayed pretty steady so far. Yeah. I'm also looking under in the Iowa-Nebraska game.
Okay.
Defense is pretty good there, and offenses are okay. Don't know that I have a side in that one.
Okay.
I probably prefer Nebraska, but I'm not totally sold on that yet. I want to see where there's Purdue number goes. Opened 8, it's settled in at 7.5. I'm going to look to get it at +8 on Texas. I wouldn't be surprised if Purdue covers, but that's not the way I'm going to bet it. And same thing with Arkansas. I'll be taking the it's a 7.5, which seems a little short, but I'm not uncomfortable with 7.5. In other words, let's put it this way, I would probably be making. I'd probably make a half unit bet on Illinois at +3 because I've got a regular full unit bet on the under. Probably same thing with Nebraska. Nebraska might be a full unit bet because I do like them over Iowa, even though I also would be a full unit on the under in that game. Both Texas and Arkansas would be half unit plays.
Okay.
Because of the volatility with those numbers. St. John's, I've liked them all season. That's also an underplay, and it'd probably be a full unit play on St. John's plus the, let's see, where are we at now? We're at 6.5. I see a couple of rogue 7s out there, so it might go back up to 7 because Duke will be a popular choice, but I don't think the 7s will stay there very long. I do like Michigan State, and that one, it'd probably be a full unit bet on +3, which I don't think we're going to get. So I will probably make it a half unit on Michigan State +2 and a half unit on the money line.
Okay.
On Michigan State.
Okay.
Alabama, if I did anything, I would take the points and half unit on that one. Nothing on the total because those are two high-scoring teams, and Michigan is the better defense, but they haven't played all that well, although they've been in one-sided games. And the other one I like is I like Iowa State over Tennessee.
Yeah, I like that one.
And that one is 4, and I might buy the half point down to that'll be a full unit, and it might be buy the half point down. If it goes to 4.5. I'm sorry, if at 4, I would buy it down to 3.5. At 3.5, I would buy it down to 3.
Okay.
So that's basically it.
Okay. Sounds good. I like Iowa State a lot as well. I do like St. John's too. We agree on them for sure.
I do a show, I think, with a lot of the audience might know Jim Feist.
Oh, I love
Mark Lawrence.
Yeah.
I don't know if they know Greg DePalma, who's affiliated with our lads, and a lot of sports thing. Okay, Greg, and he's also very good in the college basketball. So we each gave out the one game that's in the Final Four that we each liked.
Okay.
And Jim went with St. John's.
Okay.
Mark went with just plus the points. Mark went or minus the points. Mark went with St. John's.
Also, okay.
Oh no! I think no. This I think was our pick for the one of the team to be playing. Maybe it was I think it was the pick for this week's games. Mark went with I went with St. John's, and fortunately, Greg went with Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't want it to. It was like everybody loves South Florida. I didn't want us to be a South Florida this week. That's no assurance that St. John's is going to cover, but I feel more comfortable with 3 of us taking it than I would with 4.
Right. Yeah, you don't want everyone.
That doesn't say that he doesn't like St. John's. It's just not his favorite play.
Yeah, you could have the 4 smartest guys. You still don't want everyone on the same side.
Yeah.
It's funny how that happens, but
I don't mind being on the side that's 3-1, but I also don't mind being on the side that's 1-3.
Oh yeah, same.
I don't mind being the lone wolf.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's nice to be on an island. It feels good.
Well, it's a game that because I had St. John's, I've been liking them and betting on them. I think I actually think I bet the future on them before the Connecticut blowout. It was that long ago.
Oh,
that's when it was 70-1.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I got him at 50-1.
Yeah, and I thought that of course we didn't know the draw at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But because of their really good defense and Pitino's coaching, what did I read today? Let me see if I got the. By the way, the last time a Big Ten team won the national title was in the year 2000 with Tom Izzo. It's hard to imagine a power conference like Big Ten would go quarter of a century without winning a national title. Let me get back.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, let's see if I could find what I was looking for. Bear with me just a moment. We did it at 10 o'clock, so I found this. Here we go. Okay. Mark had put this stat together. Rick Pitino is 12-1 straight up, 11-2 ATS in his career in the Sweet 16 round.
Wow. You said 11-2 against the spread?
11-2 and 12-1 straight up.
Wow.
Now, most of them, remember, he coached at Kentucky and Louisville and probably favorites in those, but I think there were a couple of underdogs in there as well. I think with Providence, his first Final Four, that was back when he was at Providence in the 1980s before I think he went to the Knicks, I think it was.
Right.
I remember I was at that Final Four. That was a great Final Four. That was Providence, Indiana, UNLV, and Syracuse.
Okay, wow.
That was the one with the Keith Smart shot to win the game against Syracuse. Yeah, and Duke's John Shire and UConn's Danny Hurley. They've never lost a Sweet 16 game, but they're both 2-0. So it's not a long, a long stretch. But I think the other thing that he pointed out, and this really was surprising, especially the way that game 2 turned out. Let's see if I can find where it was here. I think it was St. John's has trailed a total of 38 seconds combined since its blowout loss to UConn.
Wow.
Not since the
38 seconds.
not since the tournament started.
Yeah.
Since its blowout loss to UConn. I find that hard to believe, but maybe it is. I can understand if it's at 38 seconds in the tournament because that's just 2 games.
Right.
But they've been playing extremely well, and like I said, I think they won 20 out of 21 entering the NCAA tournament, and they've of course won 2 since then. But that is still not the hottest team, as I mentioned. Hottest team is Duke, having won 13 straight. But they struggled against Siena. I think one of the other things he pointed out that I think he said that anytime a 16 has beaten a 1 by 6 points or lower, they've never won the title.
You mean a 1 is beaten a 16? Yeah.
Yeah, when a 1 is beaten a 16 by 6 points or less. Yeah. It hasn't happened very often. That team has.
It makes sense.
Never won the title, yeah. And remember, Duke struggled for much of the game against TCU.
They did, yeah. I don't think they're not healthy. They're not completely healthy.
No, they got one of the players back. I don't think they're getting the other one back.
Yeah.
What's the kid's name? Begins with a B.
I can't remember the name, but yeah, they're not a healthy team. I think they're
Caleb.
I think they're a little overrated.
Yeah,
and they're a really good team, obviously, but like I don't.
Oh, they're a very good team.
I don't think they're the best team.
Caleb Foster.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I don't think they're the best team, and I think they're definitely vulnerable. I thought Arizona's the best team coming in. Yeah.
And I still think they're the best team in the field,
Mhm.
although I like the way that both Illinois and Iowa State have played. Iowa
Yeah.
State, especially without Jefferson the other day,
Mhm.
falling behind at the half and then steamrolling Kentucky in the second half.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, that game was reminiscent of the game against Santa Clara, Kentucky, was reminiscent of what made this tournament great throughout the 1980s and into the 1990s. And that is the games that came down to buzzer beaters. And there were 2 buzzer beaters basically in that game when
Mhm.
Santa Clara took a 3-point lead on its 3-pointer, and then the half-point shot by Kentucky to send it into overtime that went in there.
Mhm.
And it's such a shame that the Vanderbilt 3-point shot against Nebraska looked like that was going in. It was perfect. It rolled,
I know.
hit the backboard, rolled around, and dropped out. I mean, it did everything but go in.
I know. I was so disappointed because I had Vanderbilt going to
No.
the Elite Eight, I think. So I was really sad about that. That was my only big loss, though. So
Yeah, well, that was one of the teams I had eliminated, Vanderbilt and Gonzaga from the
mhm.
my Final Four futures before the tournament.
Oh right, yeah. I remember.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
So I've got 2 in that. Who have I got in that region with Nebraska? Yeah, that's the one where I have in my, because I now have 2 futures in, I think, each region.
Mhm.
However, they're in each half. In other words, I have, because I don't have anybody as a future in the Iowa-Nebraska game, and I have both Illinois and Houston. So I'm going to have at least 1 ticket alive in the Final Four.
Mhm.
I have Texas and Arizona in the one of the other regions. But if Purdue and Arkansas both win, I don't have anybody advancing. I've got St. John's and Michigan State, but not Duke and UConn. Those are 2 separate games. And I've got Alabama and Iowa State, but not Michigan or Tennessee. So
Mhm.
I'm only guaranteed of 1 team making it the Final Four, much less the championship game.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But that doesn't mean I won't do anything after the Elite Eight.
Yeah, of course. That's the beauty of it.
You just got 4 games.
Right. Exactly.
And I'll be happy with 2 in the Final Four. I'll be pleased with 3,
Mhm.
and I'll have to check all the scores once again if it's all 4.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm just rooting for St. John's to get there. That'd be.
I almost ought to bet a what would it be? I guess a 6-team parlay.
Mhm.
For this week, because actually I probably could do it with. I don't have to be greedy. Well, because I'm hoping to lose it. If I did a money line parlay, it would be Purdue, Arkansas, Duke, UConn, Michigan, and Tennessee.
Mhm.
But that would only guarantee who I got into the Elite Eight, so it's not worth it. Although as an underdog, well, Purdue would be a favorite. Arkansas is a dog. Duke is a favorite. UConn is a small favorite. Michigan is a big favorite, and Tennessee is a modest dog.
Mhm.
So, but no, so I'm happy with my positions, but I'll probably look to do a little something once the Final Four is determined.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it'll be fun. So I'm sure we'll discuss the Final Four next week. So we'll be able to talk about that then.
Wednesday,
and hopefully we're discussing St. John's being there, which would be great. So
we could be discussing Iowa, Arkansas, Tennessee.
Oh man.
And Duke, what the hell?
Let's hope not.
Or UConn,
right. That'd be a disaster for us. So let's hope not. All right. Well, it's 2 a.m. here. My dog needs to go out. I know you have to go in a few minutes, so we'll call it a show. Thanks, guys, for watching and commenting. Really appreciate it. Andy, always great to do this with you. Love it. Do you want to plug thelogicalapproach.com?
Nothing quite yet. I'm going to start putting baseball plays up every day within the next few days. I've been neglected because I've just been so tied up with everything. I've had like 3 to 5 hours of sleep a night.
Oh man, you sound like me these days.
Yeah, well, it is at this time. There are like 3 or 4 times during the year where it's really crunch time, and these 2 weeks, especially the first 2 weeks of the tournament, or let's say the first the first 8 or 9 days from selection Sunday after the selections are announced until the final four is determined.
Okay.
So that's basically 8, 9 days.
Okay. All right. Well, it'll be there soon. You'll get through it. So, yeah, you can get more sleep, which is always nice.
Yes.
So, all right, guys. Like I said, thanks so much for watching and commenting. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit walterfootball.com. We'll be back either tomorrow or Friday. I'm not sure if we're doing a show both days. We'll have to see who can come on those days. I assume Tom might be available Friday, but we'll see. I'll definitely mention it on Twitter. But yeah, otherwise, I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you in the next couple of days.